Punk.
Go do one more time.
Love me some Daft Punk.
Oh yeah.
It's the same two lines every song, just repeated for like 20 minutes straight.
God,
And
but with like an
still wanna
awesome beat.
celebrate.
Though. Yeah.
How did Justin get sick and Chris didn't? I think.
Did
hell
Justin
just
get
froze
sick?
over.
I
Yeah,
don't know what I got.
Justin's over here about to give me fucking COVID.
Did
Oh,
Justin
no.
hug Andy Middleton?
I didn't touch Andy
shook his-
Middleton.
I shook his hand twice.
Dude,
The
Andy,
second time Chris knew, he's like, I'm gonna play the odds on this one. Let's see what happens.
dude, I walked past Andy 2 or 3 times during this weekend, and every time, like, I knew him by the eyes, like, because he had the COVID mask on. I just knew those eyes, and I was like, Andy, and he was like, "Rrr." And then we walked past each other, like, and I think he thought I was avoiding him or something, but that's definitely not the case. I just saw that he was busy, and we were always in transit. So, Andy, if you're listening, I still love you, and I expect a physical touch reciprocation when you're not contagious.
You know, it's
Of
kind
any
of funny.
kind.
It we all did the thing. We wore masks for a good long while, and we all got used to like communicating that way. And it's so funny. I don't know what happened when somebody's wearing a mask now and they talk to me. I'm just all, I use sign language. My brain does not work this way anymore. I'm not being a dick or anything, but like he was saying stuff to me, and I was just all, I don't know.
I can't understand you.
And I actually felt bad because he's such a sweetheart of a guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Andy's
Stand up
great.
fella.
He's beautiful.
We love
man.
Andy.
He's so beautiful.
But Billy, it's weird, man. You're like in the different room.
Yeah, I'm in the office, so I'm trying to. At some point, I want to have it set up where it's a little better than what
That's
it is.
how you
now.
know you've made it when
I
you
was
have
about to
an
say
office.
you need white lights, man. You're all red over there.
He's
Baby steps.
a peachy hue.
Baby steps. He's peachy.
No, I mean he's sitting there in the dark like it's one of those like Taliban hostage videos or something.
That's actually kind of funny.
Dude, so I got new lights in my office at work yesterday, and they're like white, and I got like 4 new tubes in there, and I feel like I'm in a jail cell every time I'm in there. It's just bright white lights over me. I'm like, God damn.
Oh, here we are. Not an episode of Snake. Fuck.
Shut up.
Jeez.
Not an episode of Snakes and Stogies. Not really an episode of THP.
Just an episode.
Just an episode.
This is a THN episode.
That's right.
I'm all
right.
welcome to Corn Stars episode 21, guys. We did it. There's 2 in 1 month, and we're really happy to have a couple guests on tonight.
Yeah.
You know what's hilarious is of all the people on this group right now, all of us have very different collections, but all of us have corn snakes.
That's right. We all do, huh?
We all do.
I just got
I feel
rid
like
of mine.
Billy
Yeah.
has his
Skylar
against
does-
his will.
I was about to say Sky doesn't have corn snakes.
What the fuck, Sky?
I just got rid of them. I just trimmed every layer of fat I can. You guys know I'm slowly in a process right now. There's going to be big stuff coming in a couple years. I had to
Yeah,
trim
there
every
is.
layer of fat.
That's right.
Yeah, there is.
Get slender before you get big.
You don't become the throat goat by having corn snakes.
That's
That's
what I'm saying,
right.
baby.
The peach throat
man.
goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, can we please clarify that? Just
The people know.
Yeah.
They already know.
Chris is over there like, I know what I said.
all been with
I meant
Sky at
every bit of it.
Daytona.
I shared a room with him. Trust me.
Swallowing, just
Never
swallowing
Never
Joey
mind.
Estes.
Oh my god.
Oh, Lord.
Daytona recap. Here we are.
Yeah. Woo.
Guys, it's like the party never stopped.
This
Yeah.
well, so because this isn't a particular episode of any one show, we're gonna go ahead and shout out everybody. BlackBoxCages.com. Check them out. Facebook, Instagram. Use the code THN at checkout. Get yourself something nice. Whether it's a rack, whether it's a cage, Black Box is all the motherfucking rage. And then Full Views Apparel. Check that out as well. Use the code THN at checkout. Also get a nice percentage off of your order. Get yourself some shirts. Look at that. Phil's got the one Subok hat in existence.
The one.
One of one.
Deal, man.
It's a good hat.
Silent Hill Reptiles, who is one of our Corn Stars sponsors, JT and Mindy. I don't know if he's updated his for sale page yet, but once again, it's going to be full because he had the best not pairing year
His
ever.
best off year.
So if you're looking for some really, really nice corns, top notch, me and Chris talk about them all the time. JT and Mindy do really, really good stuff, really choice pairings.
Great people,
and
great animals.
He's doing some other stuff outside of corns too, so stay in the loop. With that, they're also on Facebook and Instagram, and then I don't know if he's posting on Morph Market or not, but SilentHillReptiles.com, his for sale page. Check that out. The fine folks at Puget Sound Pythons, who were there with us at Daytona, kicking it. Always a good time to hang out with them. It's a long journey, but we enjoyed hanging out with them. Give them a follow, Facebook, Instagram. I know they picked up some pretty sweet stuff at the show.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that means they're going to be putting some stuff up on Morph Market or not, but take a look. And then Steve Snaketuary and his Venom hot sauce. Some like it hot. If you do, SteveSnaketuary.com. Grab you the whole set. We like cottonmouth sauce. That's the one over here that we enjoy the most. So help Steve out with his rehabilitations. He takes in animals, like unwanted stuff, rescues, relocates, does a lot of public outreach. If you get the hot sauce, you're helping him do that. And it's
Follow
a cool
that
little,
dude's
even if you're not
page,
a
it's
hot
better
sauce
than the
person, it's a
news.
cool little.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's right.
His page is awesome, man. He saves people's lives.
Yeah.
Middle of the night.
He's just downing, he's just drinking hot sauce straight out the bottle
Straight out the pot.
on his way to go
He's like, oh my
catch a
god.
black rat out of somebody's bathroom.
Yeah, 3 a.m, bald python in the toilet. Where's the cottonmouth sauce?
Yeah.
I'm on my way.
It fuels him.
Some people drink Monster. Steve drinks hot sauce.
Sometimes he drinks both.
That's right.
It's like that old drink they used to make, wasn't it like Pepto Bismol and like Jack Daniels or something in like all the old like 90s movies?
All I know is you remember when Pepto Bismol came up with the cherry flavor and their slogan was "The pink just got tastier." Ugh.
I don't remember that.
That was a legit commercial on public television. And let's not forget about our most recent affiliate, Cold Blooded Caffeine, who is in the group chat right now.
Right.
Got some awesome stuff
We
coming in
have
the future.
some things coming down. That's right. That's what I was about to get into. So we'll stay tuned on that. Keep everybody posted. I'm excited.
Yeah, great guy too. So excited to have met him. Real nice person to have a conversation with.
Yeah,
excited to try some coffee.
Yeah, man.
That's right. What is any updates real quick as far as breeding hatching stuff?
Should we you just want to go in order by box? Justin, me, Phil, Billy, Chris, Sky.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Keep it easy.
Rhino started hatching this morning. Woo! So far, it was one. It was like halfway out the egg last time I checked. None of the others have pipped yet. Again, not getting my hopes super up because knowing my luck, the rest of the clutcher are going to die. So if I hatch out one, hey, I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's I was talking to PJ at Handmade Herps because I was asking him, I was like, hey, what's the average incubation time on your rhinos? And he's like, oh, like 65-ish days. And as I was like messaging him about it, I walked in and checked, and there was a baby that had pipped and started hatching. So it's like, oh, look at that. What are the odds? Uh-oh. Go away. Don't ask again. So other than that, nothing new hatching. We're in the last like 2 or 3 weeks of the Jansen eye egg. So we'll see what happens there.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
When it hatches out and you have the empty shell hull, are you going to like
frame
cast it? I was gonna say you should put it in a shadow box, but you should cast
I'm gonna get it bronzed.
and then wear it around your neck like a big pimp chain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Have one of our artist
Soma
friends.
Alliance freaking chain with
Yes.
the freaking golden egg on it.
Yup.
Too gangster.
I'm encrusted.
Dude, you could sign it and then sell it, man. Go towards a raffle or something.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Smitty Jansen egg.
It's not the only one ever produced. It's not.
It's the only one you've ever produced, buddy.
But you're
That's
our
all that
friend
matters.
and you're cool.
Burn.
Anyways, that's all I have. So
Nice. For me, the Pasco County yellow rats hatched right before Daytona. Luckily, so that was cool. All those are set up. They actually all just shed out. So feeding trials are going to start this weekend. All the gray rats are rocking and rolling, eating off tongs. All good. Another clutch of gray rats are about to hatch at the end of this month, possibly beginning December. And yeah, that's pretty much it for breeding updates. So I don't have cool shit hatching like Smitty. So yeah, my rat snakes.
Still good, man. Still popping.
Yeah, those are
stuff
great
out.
animals, man.
Locality
Yeah.
man, boy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
boy.
stoked, man.
Man, boy.
It's good stuff.
Phil,
Well, I don't have anything in an incubator. I actually threw away my incubator because this season I wound up not really breeding anything on purpose just because I knew I was moving and that kind of thing. But it just stopped holding a temp. So it was one of those like small Exoterra ones, which worked really, really well for a long time. And I was just like, this is junk. So I just threw it away. And now I have incentive to buy a real one, such as like a hot box. But I wanted to do a PSA real quick because we just came back from one of the largest shows in the country. And one thing that everyone always is weary of is bringing home some kind of pathogen, typically snake mites, right? So much like everyone else and most of the people that listen to this, I try to keep quarantine and I do my best to keep cages clean and avoid mites at all costs. And when you come home from a show, you want to definitely quarantine your animals, even for a little bit, just to make sure they don't have any hitchhikers, right? Well, I come home 2 mites. Didn't even get them from the show.
in the main collection?
Yeah, in the which is crazy.
No, man.
Now, so the kicker is only one snake had them, and had them pretty bad. It's all fixed and fine now, and I've sprayed stuff. I've got predatory mites online that I threw just as a preventative measure in cages, and I've been checking almost every animal every day since I got home, and it looks like nothing else has mites. But it just goes to show you that I didn't even get it from the show. It just magically appeared from rodents or where I walked, if I walked in a pet shop or something beforehand. So who the hell knows, but just always be mindful, people out there in Facebook and YouTube world that are listening to this. Just pay attention to your critters and be mindful that you don't have to get mites from a show. They can just magically appear. So
And
Well,
with that,
they
I'll
suck.
throw in, watch out. Like, obviously I'm not saying don't get at local pet stores, whatever, but if you buy Aspen at a reptile shop or a pet store, I had a breakout one time, and I'm the only thing because I hadn't got any new animals recently. I don't have them now, but I think it came in on some Aspen that I got because that was the only thing that really made sense to me. But it was at a reptile shop, and so
While we're
great.
on that topic, real quick.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. Like as soon as we got back, anything that was in my car, I literally just either in the garage or right in front of my garage.
Yep.
All my clothes stripped off in the laundry room. I got taken lice spray that I just sprayed my shoes and everything down with, left them in the garage. Everything that I brought home's been baked or soaked in a tub. Like nothing got past the garage without getting at least the first round of some hitness. And then all the animals are in my spare bathroom. Like, you got to take that shit pretty damn serious after
Absolutely.
mingling
Yeah,
with everyone all weekend, because it doesn't matter how safe you are being, you don't know how safe the person was being that you just hugged or bumped shoulders with. So
yeah. And for the record, I did not bring any animals to the show, so no one get freaked out that Phil contaminated the world. But other than that, everything is status quo on my end, with the exception of that lovely surprise.
That's
yeah,
always fun.
Was it a puff?
No, it was not. It was actually one of my carpets,
Oh.
which is crazy because
I would
it's
rather have the carpet mites than puff mites.
Yeah, well, 1,000%. In fact, I wound up because the puffs I have in V70s now, and I just was afraid of using any kind of chemicals because they're in the drawers. So I checked them tonight actually, and I just sprinkled in the predatory mites that actually showed up in the mail today, just as a precautionary measure. And with those guys, I always use white water bowls because I'm going to see it in the water ball or on the water ball way before I see it on the black and yellow keeled venomous snake. So but yeah, it's crazy because it was on one carpet in a rack with other carpets, and none of I checked everything. Nothing else had mites. So it could just been a fluke. Who knows? But Billy, you're up.
As far as the mite stuff, I've always tried to, anytime I go to a show, I'll come home and strip down, take a shower, all that kind of stuff. Just become up with a routine. That helps. If you keep stuff long enough, you're going to end up with mites at some point. We all have. Everybody's been doing this at any capacity. It's one of those things that you'll be anal about, and then something will happen, and then you learn your lesson, and then it just goes back and forth. And hopefully you learn your lesson one time, and then you get a protocol in place to where it's not something you have to worry about. So all good stuff there, guys. As far as the breeding season and stuff, I didn't breed anything this year, so nothing hatching or babies or anything like that. Hopefully this coming season will be a little better. And as far as updates, I think we're going to go over that kind of stuff a little later, so I'll hold off on that.
Cool.
Awesome, Billy.
KP.
I came home to my last 3 Alterna hatching. Got some bangers.
Nice.
I got a really, really just kind of out of nowhere Blair's male.
Dude,
out of that
crazy. Crazy.
And he's like, the Blairs that I have hatched from that male always come out really washed out. This one looks like it's going to be like heavily saturated in orange.
Yeah.
So that's awesome to just have another holdback.
Because that picture you sent, that was like silver coat, right? That hadn't shed yet, right?
And hadn't shed yet. So they're all glossy still. And then like in the exact, like the female that hatches next to it is this like monochromatic Alterna phase with diamonds on its back that just looks nothing like it. That's the most exciting thing about any of the Mexicana group is just the variability.
Yeah, dude.
Everything had shed out that had already hatched. The vertebralis have all eaten now. So that's super exciting. I was a little worried because I've heard they can be tough. And I was like kind of going into it, there's not a bunch of people who have bred them. And then what I read online, one of the articles was, sometimes they're lizard feeders. And then all 5 of mine took frozen thawed off the rib. So I was, whatever, whatever it may be, maybe, my parents, the adults to mine, we're good. So I'm extremely happy to see that they're all healthy, no kinks. That's the other thing. They kink real easy. They have like an 80-day incubation, which is long for a Pituophis at 82 degrees. But other than that, yeah, everything shed, most things fed. I did another round of feeding trials on Alterna and Leonis, and I got 1 more Leonis to eat, which is if I get 1 every time I feed, and then I know what it's eating, it's 1 more in the eating stack. So that's super exciting. All the reverse stripe Milomorum ate. I think actually there was 1. I think there was 1 that didn't eat. I have like 1,000 babies all around me. This season was we're doing less next season for sure.
I don't know how you do it, bro.
I am an idiot.
Didn't you say that last year?
Yeah, and then I had 2 leopards of my daughter's leopards hatched while I was out. Now her and my wife had already set up to take care of them. And then the day I got back, I hatched 2 more. I got 2 little tiny baby bold stripes hatched out.
Nice.
So yeah, it's unlucky because it's not a struggle, right? Like I enjoy all of this, and I've got it set up to where it's maintained easy, easy enough. Oh, Joe, I'm sorry. It's still on because he hasn't taken it off yet. That's kind of like the icing
top,
on
baby.
our
He's
cake
got the
that we're
crop
eating
top
tonight.
on.
Do a bomb me, baby.
But also coming home to a room with a whole bunch of babies, it's really cool to come home to a room full of no dead snakes. Which, if anybody has a bunch of babies, you get 200 colubers at once. And I don't have 200 babies left, but regardless, come home to a room full of all alive snakes is always just great. Nobody regurgits.
Yeah.
No stinky poops, no weird smells. In fact, I came home and the bedroom door was open, which means my kid had been in and out of here playing with leopard geckos and nothing smelled. So
nice.
I was kind of shined upon this weekend. But yeah, so happy it came back in a very happy manner. And I'm the same as you guys. Everything that comes home from Daytona doesn't come in this room. I did take some pictures under my light in here, which is usually a very quick thing. But everything stays in other rooms, and I strip down. I will not come into this room after a reptile show, even if it's a local reptile show, or even if I go to a friend's collection. I won't come into this room without a shower. I won't wear the same clothes in.
Yeah.
Even if I catch snakes out in the wild. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I went as far as even washing my clean clothes again. I emptied out all the clothes that were still in my bag that I hadn't worn in the weekend and washed those anyways.
Yeah, same. Everything goes out of the...
get home, take off all your clothes.
Everything comes out of the suitcase and gets washed every time, no questions asked. Even my shoes that I wore get sprayed down with some kind of a front line or something, just to make sure. You just... It's really... You don't worry about it when you don't risk it. So it's not a thing on my mind. But Sky, what's up, man?
Oh, sheesh. Oh, man, that was a quick adjustment, bro. Thanks for throwing me on the spot.
Nah,
I didn't have as awesome year as you, dude. We had the one clutch of Papa Wins come out, which Billy freaking helped me with a lot, guided me through that. And learned a lot on that, honestly. Like, freaking, I got all the highs and the lows of what you can experience from a clutch. So, like at the end of at one point I could be mad, but at the end of the day, I kind of just got to look back at it and like realize that was probably like one of the best learning experiences I could have ever had, because like everything that everyone talks about, I got egg binding. I got somewhat of like incubation issues because I just had my substrate got too wet at one point. So I was kind of like, things started to mold towards the end, and then a couple babies came out with some deformities, some kinks. So there was that. And then there was 8 survivors, and the 8 survivors they're rocking and rolling. So, I can't be mad. They look awesome. They look healthy. After we get out with this tonight, I got to feed them their 5th meal, and there's a couple of them going in the shed. So they're all rocking. All the babies look awesome. The mom bounced back. She's already gaining size, which I don't have any plans of breeding her for. If I ever would, it would maybe be in like 3 or 4 years just to see what she does for the next couple of years. But as of now, she's back to all her normal behavior, and she's rocking and rolling. And then, I really can't complain. It was just, like I said, just a good learning experience. And like I said, Billy and a couple other guys, they really gave me so much help. And Billy even came over and just, talked me through some things. So like I said, this community is so much like everyone focuses on the negative stuff. That's why it gets so annoying that I don't even share, bring it up, put attention to it, because if you just focus on your tight-knit tribe and everyone that supports you, like you really see like this community really rallies around you. Like this week,
Absolutely.
Like that was one thing I wanted to say on here is this week really showed me like this community is straight up. It's a family. Like y'all freaking made me feel more love than I ever felt by any community before. Like it was awesome. So
it's the best part about it.
And then my lame breeding is I have morning geckos busting out my butt right now. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Bet.
Yeah. And dude,
those things are really cool.
Yeah, I need some of those.
They're so fun to watch. I watch them every night.
Gotta commend you on your Poplin carpet baby setups, bro. Like, dude, they're set up like adults. Like they're perfect.
If anyone knows me, I go all out, bro.
I know, man.
There's no half-ass.
It's fantastic, man. Like right. I just think of like because, and I'm not taking a pop shot, because you don't have a giant collection, you can really focus on like setting those babies up, getting them up to speed, doing what you got to do, and that's awesome.
Yeah, all that goes to, it's all kudos to listening to you guys. All the big name older breeders that you guys bring on, NPR, like that's what really reset my collection 4 years ago and really put me on the track I'm on right now. And anyone could be in my shoes. I'm just the same as anyone else. If you put your head down, focus on what makes you happy and what you love, your collection be the same as mine. You could have as much fun every day and you'll be doing the same thing as me. But that's literally what I did 4 years ago. Took the advice that all these older guys are saying that I was listening to and put it into play. And it's not an overnight process, but you see where we're at now.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
Badass.
Hell yeah.
Very well said.
Keller said he grabbed his ass, and there definitely is a whole ass there. So
That boy went a couple knuckles deep. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd be
I was about to say he
real.
went in his ass.
We could probably make a real short list of people who didn't get their ass grabbed by Keller this week.
Yeah.
I was
That
one
was
of
definitely
them. I didn't get my ass grabbed, and I feel
Shocked,
kind of left
literally
out. I'm not
shocked.
gonna lie. I'm
Literally
kind of
shocked.
disappointed.
I'm
like,
okay
I
with
got
it.
left out.
I think he grabbed me and Sky's enough for all of y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
That boy hungry.
Again, I
You know
didn't
what I
get close. I didn't get close.
He got
enough
that
to-
dog in him.
He got that dog in him.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll tell you what, though, as I'll tell you what, as inebriated as our good friend Mr. Jason Keller was, the dude held it together so well to literally give me such legit worldly advice on breeding a few key species that I was focusing on. And Jason, I love you, brother. You were fucking hammered, but the shit that you were telling me, I was like, yeah, this is he's right. Yes,
There's
this
a
is
river of
great.
wisdom.
It literally
It scares the
right.
shit out of me that guy knows what he's talking about.
Dude, and it's amazing, and like, I'm just
Right.
sitting there like soaking it in. Yeah,
He's literally a Georgia backwoods wizard. Like that's
It
the,
is.
like
When you got them, when you got them puff adders, Phil, what you're gonna need to do, you need to make sure that you use the scenting from an African species. And
well,
that's
dude,
the
and
only
like
way.
or whatever.
all I could think of is that if I was as happy as he was at that time, I could not do what he did in terms of articulate the data.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he
tip of the hat, sir.
Hold the conversation period.
Yeah.
Can I at least give him
that's,
kudos on what he did, or is that should we not let the public know that?
No, that's
man-
for us. That's just
that,
for us.
that boy went ham.
That's just for us. Yeah,
That boy went ham.
hell of a weekend. Love it. And dude,
Yeah,
and
we'll
I'm
leave-
sorry,
we'll
like
leave it at that.
I know we're gonna talk about like our show pickups and everything, but dude, those Dalmatian anoles that he got, dude,
Oh my god,
dude,
What?
They're fucking cool.
dude, I feel like Keller got the coolest, if not one of the coolest animals of all of us this weekend.
I was with him when he
He
got
always
those.
does
Dude.
every show.
I brought home a pair of blue eye anoles for my local buddy,
Yeah,
and they were like freaking out. So I put them, I had them in a bigger tub, and I was like looking at him, I was like, man, these little shits are kind of cool.
yeah, dude.
Fuck.
Yeah. But dude, those Dalmatian or Dalmatian or
badass.
leopard,
Dalmatian.
Dalmatian,
anoles,
dude,
yeah.
yeah, killer,
Yeah,
killer.
I think it was Jake. Weren't we talking about like the first day of the show? How I was like, dude, you don't remember how Keller left last year with 2 freaking cloth bags just full of freaking
Yeah,
animals?
he did it again.
And it was just some of the
Yeah.
coolest shit at the show. Just you didn't even know. And he's about to leave. He's like, "Oh, look at this! I got this, dude." Literally this year again. Look at this! Look at this! Look. It's like, bro, where did you even find this stuff? Like straight
Dude,
wisdom.
and-
Man,
dude, Keller-
every show, I've been to like 3 or 4 short shows with Keller now. Every single time he leaves with like the coolest shit there. Like
Hands down, man.
He's a
it's
man.
Yeah.
He's a man of
wild.
taste.
He's a man of taste.
Mike,
Dude,
He's got
Mike Kosicki-
everything.
Mike Kosicki says it best. He drinks and he knows things.
He does.
knows
He does
things.
that.
He does.
Oh man.
Not a better
Fucking
person
Keller,
could be a worse
man.
human. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Kellopedia.
yes. Oh man. Well, before we really get into the nitty gritty, so to speak,
Down to the nitty gritty.
Mike Kosicki actually had a fantastic idea. Our good friend, Dr. Travis Wyman, was unable to attend this year's Daytona. He was trying to, and he wound up not being able to because he was actually donating his kidney to a stranger.
He was busy.
Excuse me. Yes, he was busy. He was having surgery to donate one of his kidneys to a stranger who is in need of a kidney. His wife is going through some medical stuff herself, and by him donating his kidney to someone in need, it actually helps her out a lot as well. So we just wanted to say that this Daytona, our THN experience at the Daytona National Breeders Expo 2023 show is dedicated to Dr. Travis Wyman, man. So if you
What a
got a
great
glass, if you got a glass
What
in
a
front of you, you got something,
Okay.
it's a vice, you know, tink to Travis. So
Cheers, Travis.
to you,
We
man.
love you, man.
Cheers.
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 Good luck to you and your wife, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's internet cooperating.
Don't jinx it.
I don't know. It's struggling a little
It's
bit.
getting dodgy.
It's all right. You guys sound clear.
Good.
You look clear.
We're good.
We're good.
There we go.
Clear.
I mean, as far like, do we want to get into pickups?
Yeah, I mean, do you guys want to talk about like your guys' experiences from VIP day as both people that were behind the table as well as in front of the table? And then we can kind of give like a timeline series of events kind of thing, however you guys want to do it, man.
Okay. The VIP thing.
Yeah.
I'm still on the fence as far as what I think about it.
Was it worth it?
So they did say last year, well, between the show last year and this year, that they were going to fix the line issue as far as people being outside, which I feel like they did. At least it seemed that way to me.
Yeah.
I didn't really see what the lines were looking like, but it never seemed like anyone was in line for a very long time. As far as the VIP thing goes, I got it. I know Chris got it.
Yeah.
Sky got it, I believe. And for me, it was just like Daytona is the weekend that it's my ball out weekend. You know, I splurged. I was like, I'm not really planning on taking anything home, nothing crazy.
Famous last
Famous last words.
You know, so I got it, and getting into the show an hour earlier was cool. The issue was like on Friday, you get there at opening, and like half the vendors weren't even there yet. So you literally walk in and half the hall is just empty tables, which whatever, like that's okay. It is what it is. I'm just there to hang out. Like I wasn't there to really shop on Friday or anything like that. I got it just so I could, bug people.
Yeah.
In the hall on Friday and early Thursday. What I did find, being a VIP person, while people are setting up, is you feel like you're in the way a lot.
Yeah.
Even if you're not.
Yeah.
You just feel like you're just not supposed to be there. And I was trying very hard to not hover and bug Tony D, which I feel like I probably I did a little bit.
I think we
anyways.
both did. Tony D and Trumbauer, we were just.
But I'm like standing there, just
unpacking
the box, and just looking. Yeah,
he's pulling stuff out of the box, and everything comes out. We're like, "Oh man, that's so great! Why don't you tell me some more about those Casales and
What's
Loans?"
that?
Yeah,
What's that?
yeah, right.
Well,
and those guys are so great and so nice. They just start talking to you.
Yeah,
it's very natural.
Yeah.
Speaking of Trumbauer's collective table, that whole end cap that they have. So
The Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity. So those of you who know Rob Nemo, who's a master herper, famous producer, breeder, he had some personal family stuff going on, so he could only come Friday morning, and he brought the animals that he was going to have for the whole show. So I know a lot of vendors made arrangements to pick stuff up from him, myself included, on Friday, as well as a bunch of people that bought VIP tickets. So if it wasn't for the VIP tickets, he probably wouldn't have been able to sell as much as he did because of his personal stuff he had to leave for. So,
and he sold a lot.
He sold a lot. He had amazing stuff, man.
Yeah, I bought a lot from him.
I was there with
Boy made trips.
I made multiple trips to buy snakes from him, and then at the end, I almost bought more. I was like, "Hey, before you pack up, let's start talking about the." And then I was like, "Chris,
let's work on the schematics here. What are we talking about?
Don't do it."
Yeah. That is the perk that I saw. I didn't get VIP. I'm a peasant. But that is one thing I heard is like there was a few people that like couldn't do the weekend, but because there was the VIP, they went Friday and just vended Friday. I think that makes two people now. I heard that sold out their table on Friday because of the VIP, but that was the only day they could vend. So I mean, like that was a perk, for those guys, adding an extra day.
I wouldn't not do it again. It was just one of those things where like it made more sense Saturday or Friday. Saturday.
What?
It was Friday. It wasn't Thursday. It was Friday. That
Yeah,
week.
Friday was VIP. Yeah.
That whole weekend, like days and time are
It's all
non-concept
melded together.
Saturday, like being able to get a little earlier when everyone was sort of set up and ready to go, that was nice. I pretty much bought it just to avoid having to stand outside if that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
Which it really wasn't. But
oh, dude, I was the first one. I was one of the first people in the door Saturday morning. I didn't have VIP, but I
wish they had
was
opened the doors a little earlier, man. Like, because
Yeah,
I
they
was
didn't
out there
even
for a
open
bit before they opened.
I was out there at 7:30.
I was sweating like a freaking madman just hanging out there. I was like, damn.
I was out
They
there
got the
for an
security
hour and a
people
half.
staring at you through the door, just looking
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
It's like, you got this giant hall, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Let me in.
Dude, there were so many people like coming up and like pulling the doors.
Yeah.
Like so many
No,
times.
no,
like,
we didn't
how
try
many
it. We didn't try it.
times?
Yeah.
Like,
You try it.
yeah,
I didn't try it.
absolutely. We're standing here. Yeah, you should do it. Maybe you'll have better results.
Yeah, like
Nice.
why would people be standing outside if the doors were open, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah, like
I think for me,
completely.
the VIP, I wasn't going to be there Sunday, right? Like I had to drive back Sunday. So I wanted 2 days of shows, but like I get really bad, and I still did it this time. I get really bad anxiety with that many people. So I want to be able to see as much as I can, because I'm one of those people that will sit and talk to somebody for 2 hours and then completely forget what I was looking at. And so, dude, there's still pictures showing up on shit that I didn't see at the show. And I was there all day Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
But
there was a lot of stuff I didn't see.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I got to sit down with Jerry Hartley and visit with him for an hour, just sitting at his table, which I would never get to do on a Saturday. And it, with the exception of some leopard geckos, I had bought everything for me on Friday actually, because I kind of went in with an idea of what I wanted, and it just so happened to I didn't really know what I wanted, but I had an idea, and then it kind of just happened to be sitting on the same table for the most part. So I really like the VIP thing, and also just get to go just rub shoulders with people. Definitely, you can immediately tell when you're just bugging people. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You could tell real
Definitely
quick. And I was like trying to maintain the fact that I wasn't, but I was asking people if they needed help. And then somebody was like, "Oh yeah, can you grab the other side of that, pick it up on the table, lift it up, and walk on? Hey, y'all need help moving those tubs closer to the other edge of the table? Yeah, why not? Let's go. Hey, yeah, name's Chris." And I was picking up cards and just that was fun. There was a community aspect to it. Whereas Saturday, as amazing as it is, it's kind of just like actual madness. It's kind of just crazy.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, dude, it was nuts.
Yeah, I feel
did.
like. What's that?
I was saying, Mike commented about the 2 doors, like the entrance and exit thing changing this year, which I understand why, I guess, with the VIP ticket and people being able to sort of sneak by, cough.
I didn't do anything.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, nobody did.
I didn't do anything.
Like when they had the doors all open the previous years, like it was very easy for people to just like come and go. So it does kind of suck that it's to like leave and come to exit. Mostly it was like you had to beat a flow of people coming in as you're going out. But with the new setup and stuff, I kind of understand why they'd have to do it that way.
Yeah.
Was there somebody vending not in one of the 2 rooms? There was like a vendor's table in like
There was
the
a
middle.
couple. Yeah.
Like in the lobby, right?
Yeah, there was like
that little hall.
2 or 3. Yeah. I know Venom Life Gear was in
Venom Life was there. Yeah.
In the hallway.
The dungeon.
Yeah, the dungeon.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. But I will say this though. I feel like so I'm kind of torn on the VIP thing. And you there?
Yeah.
Working?
Yeah.
Oh, because Smitty said
It was more of a personal obligation.
No, I was just gonna say is that Anna Marie and I were kind of looking at it as the VIP thing was kind of dumb the way that they did it. But again, all the perks we just said. However, Jeff and Kendra were saying that they have VIP for their shows and it's $50, which again, $50, $100, whatever.
Yeah.
But their VIP thing is a like a collectible like credit card badge, and then they get a pint glass, they get some stickers, like
that's cool.
they make it like a VIP experience type thing.
And they get discounted prices from vendors as well.
Oh, so there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know that part. So I feel like the VIP thing could have been better than it was, and maybe it's something that evolves in the near future. I will say this though, if they had VIP during COVID, it would have been a totally different ball game.
Yeah,
because 1 million people would have did that, and the line really wouldn't have been wrapped around the whole convention center. So
you would have had a lot of people that would have kind of like me been like, I want that more personal experience.
Yeah.
And a lot of the vendors I was talking to were like, yeah, we wanted to be set up before lunch on Friday because we know that the people that come in on VIP probably have money to spend. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they're serious. Yeah.
And Bill and I were talking about how, in years past, 4, 5, 10 years ago, whatever it was, you could buy, there was no VIP thing, but you could buy a table ticket. So basically a normal ticket, but it was the price of a table. So if the table was $300 for the weekend, you could buy a $300 ticket, get in on Thursday afternoon or Friday. And if you were a Japanese exporter or you were a European buyer, with your fanny pack full of $100 bills, you could clean house, and it was 1,000% worth it. But
I saw them this year.
Did you really?
I saw one. I watched
Japanese
him make a
entourage.
purchase.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like I watched a guy purchase some very expensive animals, and he just literally had his buddy come up and hand cash.
Yeah,
he was on the phone and he was like, this one, this one, this one, this one. And the guy was like, oh yeah, this much, and the guy was like, okay, yeah, we'll take it. Guy walked up and
I remember the little Japanese man with his entourage of guys, 6, 7 guys. They all had the table ticket, and there would be a single table of a private breeder with say 400 Pac-Mans. They buy the entire table. Done.
It's the Yakuza.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
It's the Frog Kuza.
Yeah, Anna Marie wants to know, Billy, how's the fanny pack?
I love my fanny pack. I'm probably never doing a show without it. And
dude, it's crazy because I have multiple fanny packs because I am just that guy. However, Billy's fanny pack was like lean and slick and not like it.
Dude,
it wasn't
Billy's
bad.
fanny pack was on like another level, dude. Like,
yeah, man.
Billy, I was about it. That was the kind of pack I'd rock.
Yeah. Yeah, if I put it under the shirt, you have no idea that I even have it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, what's the point of wearing it if you're not going to show it off, Billy?
Oh, I would show it.
Man. You got to pimp that shit, man.
Only select people could see it.
That's true.
You got to be in the know. I like it.
I did like.
You got to be a VIP.
Billy did the old school, the bank paper envelope full of cash in the breast pocket. That's classic. Classic.
Every year.
Just that everyone knows that skinny envelope in the breast pocket.
Oh yeah, I gotta at least make it look like I know what I'm doing.
The VIP ticket was also worth it to see Wayne riding around in the Segway.
Yes.
I could not help but laugh every time Wayne came zipping by on that damn Segway. I was like, "Go ahead, Wayne." And then he has his recliner, and he'd make announcements, and they just hand him the microphone while he's kicked back in his recliner.
That boy was spitting on the microphone.
Yeah, he was.
This is how the other half lives.
Yeah. So I didn't get a chance to give my
as a vendor,
on the
Billy, what do you
VIP
think?
thing. So what I think happened was they heard all the complaints from last year, and there was a lot of people that were very upset. I'm never coming back, and all that stuff. So I don't think they tried to reinvent the wheel. They did what a lot of other shows do. NARBC does the VIP thing. Prices may be a little different, but they made the effort. Say a lot different. You get in early. That's the same basic idea. All the other stuff that we're talking about is all just semantics and details. What you want is to get in early. That's what you're looking for, and to not have to be in line. So I think they did that. Would I have personally paid $100? Probably not. But I understand why people, if you're coming from out of town, or I made a point to try to get set up on Friday for that reason. If someone's going to do that, my thought was, they're serious and they're looking to buy stuff. So that's when you need to really have your stuff set up. That being said, I wasn't as prepared this year as I usually am. So I had to do a lot of setting up on Friday. And just with all the people walking around and, you're going to talk to people and people can check out what you have out already and all that. And of course, the file snake I had on the table, that got a lot of attention. It took me all day Friday to get completely set up and how I want it. I mean, you guys know I'm kind of particular about the table, so I like things.
It looked good. It looked great, man.
It did.
I'm very structured in how I do, the stuff that I do. But all in all, I think it was good. I think they heard the complaints, and there might be a thing here or there, but I didn't hear anyone in the second room complaining that nobody got to the room. That was a big complaint last year. That we didn't even know there was a second room. There was no signage. There was no this. There was no that.
Second room was packed this year.
Yes, it was.
It was.
So
I feel like
there was good vendors and good stuff in it this year too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and they did that on purpose to try to make sure that people would go. Because you don't want to put a bunch of newer vendors in a room. Then no one's going to really pay attention to it. But I feel like they heard everyone's complaints. They made the adjustments, and I think for what it was and how it went, I mean, as a vendor, I'm happy with how everything went down. I didn't hear all the complaining that I did last year. I haven't seen anybody say I'm never coming
down early.
Yeah, like everything that people complained about last year, they took to heart, and they changed and tried to make it better for the customer. You can't ask for more than that. So overall, I was happy with it.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I did hear some people, one particular table talk about how they wish they could have set up, have set up Wednesday and Thursday, or at least half of Wednesday or something. Chris was with me, we were talking about that, and just to be able to have things set up for those VIP, knowing that there's going to be VIP people coming, getting a little extra time to get in early, get everything set up. And then I was also kind of surprised that they wouldn't let vendors in at 8 to work on setting up, open up to VIPs at 9, and then general admission at 10.
Yeah.
That was the one.
Because, like I said, I got the VIP thing. Yeah, I got the VIP. Walked in, no one's there, and the tables that are there are either covered up or they're not even set up fully yet. So, which again, whatever, no big deal. I was just there to bullshit, It just, to me, it would make more sense to stagger like that, to where it's let the vendors in early, the ones that are at least sober and awake. Then let VIPs in, then let general admission in, just to make life easier for everybody. And then the vendors don't have the pressure of people, walking around. And I mean, there wasn't a ton of VIPs. On Friday, there really wasn't that many people in the way. It wasn't like it was packed or anything like that. So overall, I didn't mind it.
To be fair, too, you can set up Thursday, and a lot of people just don't show up then, vendor wise.
Yeah, a lot of people are traveling too. Yeah.
Yeah, they have the time. It's just do they want to spend another night at the hotel? Do they want to have that extra expense?
Yeah.
And I think getting the VIP, you have to have the realistic expectation of that and realize that we're used to a 2-day show. The VIP basically made it a 3-day show. But with that, I mean, there's guys that historically would show up Saturday morning and set up within the hour before people got there.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a way to make it to where everybody's set up Friday unless you just make it a 3-day show, completely, and open it up to the public Friday as well, because you can't, people traveling and stuff, you can't expect them to get there Thursday or Wednesday or Tuesday and set up then and stuff. It's just,
it's a lot. It's a lot for the people. It's a lot for the animals.
Yeah, it just seemed kind of clunky that on Saturday morning, vendors and VIPs were walking in at the same time.
That was my biggest gripe, because I was waiting in line, and then I was like, I don't remember who I was talking to. Maybe it's Guy. But I was like, oh, Billy's already in there, right? They're like, no, they're not letting vendors in until 9 o'clock either. And I thought that was, out of the whole thing, I thought that was the most messed up part of it. Because maybe somebody didn't finish setting up completely on Friday. God forbid, but you didn't even let the vendors in.
I was at
at
Billy's
least.
table before Billy was at his table.
Yeah.
I was
My whole
I was
thing is
standing
like,
behind it, ready to fire sale stuff, being like, "Come on, y'all, buy one get one free. You buy this angle and you get this free file snake."
if people didn't just prepare for that, like a lot of the vendors, they were acting like they didn't know that was going to happen, just because we were like at the front of the line, so we were listening to the crowd of vendors sitting there griping while they were waiting, like a pack of wolves. But they're like, you could tell some of them were like wanting to get to their table, like knowing they probably left a couple things out, like maybe it wasn't supplies, or maybe there was animals in the deli that were, only a grab away. That would have been the nerve-wracking part for me, was just knowing like, okay.
Yeah.
If someone walks by my table before me, they could literally just pocket whatever they want, and
Right.
I won't know until I get there, and it's too late by then. So,
And that did happen.
Oh, really?
Tony Dungaro was setting up and had a stack of like 5 or 10. I think it may have been 10, and they were just like excess AMLs that he produced that he was going to be selling for like $50 to $60 or something.
The irony there is his AMLs are probably still light years better than like everybody.
Yeah, they're amazing animals regardless. And he was like, yeah, I was setting up and I'd had those on like the corner of the table, kind of further away from everything. And he's all, and I was turned around. We were eating some lunch. I was talking with Craig, turned back around, and stack's just gone.
Wow.
And it had to have
No
been somebody
way,
that had a
man.
VIP ticket or another vendor. That's the only way.
Wow.
And you, dude,
That's
what a
so
stand-up
fucked up,
guy.
dude.
He straight up was like,
Yeah.
he was just all, I could go report it. I could get mad. He's all, maybe those snakes make somebody else's life better. Maybe they feed them better than I did. That's the way life goes.
Dude,
I
I
was
tell
just
you,
like-
Tony. Yeah. Tony is like, he's one of my favorite people to go see. He never remembers me, and I'm okay with that. Like, he sees and talks to so many people. I've talked to him, 3-4 years in a row now. And even this year I got some lemon rats from him, and I bought stuff from him this was the third year in a row I got stuff from him. I went back, got some other stuff from him, and then later on that evening after the show on Saturday, I actually ran into him at the hotel. He was like, "Oh, hey, Jacob, blah, blah." We started talking for a second. He's like, "Man, this was such a great show. I sold, at least 4 or 5, people their first snakes, like kids got their kids their first snakes. I came around and, outside of the table.
Yeah,
and
he told
talked
me he
to
was on the
people
other
so
side
much
of the
this
table
year. It's
talking
been
to
so
people,
great."
yeah.
I'm like, the fact that like,
Yeah, he said that was something they'd done different than previous years. Is there's more exits for people who are in like a horseshoe like that to be able to
Right.
get out.
Yeah.
And then Sunday before we left, I was talking to him a little bit too, and he was saying that this was the first Daytona where he's had a lot of people buying their first animal. But he's like, not only that, but they come up and they're actually informed and they've clearly done some research.
right.
So he's like, I haven't seen that.
And
that
I
doesn't
just
happen.
I just thought it was so cool that like it wasn't, oh, I sold so many animals, oh, I made so much money. Is I gave so many people their first snakes this year.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, that
So cool.
is what it's about, man.
So
You know,
badass.
like he is just
You
he's
can't
amazing.
beat that, man.
I love that
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
That's why we
He
do
also,
it, man.
he also
Yeah, man.
told me how appreciative he was of being on Corn Stars, and he said it helped him a lot as far as, I guess it got more people hitting him up for animals, which is great. But
Yeah.
then he also said, he's like, I'm not like, public speaking isn't really my thing, and he said it helped me a ton there too.
Yeah.
He just, again, like, it was like the last conversation of the day that I had before we left, and he was like just super appreciative of the fact that,
Yeah,
that
I
we
was
had
with
him
you.
on there, and it's like,
It's
it blows my
like,
mind.
dude, I'm pretty sure we're the honored ones here.
Yeah.
I know. I was all, well, you know,
Yeah,
you'd be
nah,
cool to
he's-
come on again. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. I was like, I got him.
I was actually I want to say
I want to come
would
on
say
that
sur-
show.
Yeah, dude. I was actually surprised how many people came up to us as a collective group, whether it be me or Smitty or just the group in general, about saying like, "Hey, I listened to your guys' podcast. Hey, is that Chris? Is that Chris from the Corn Snake podcast? Yeah, it is. You know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
we'd walked around and there was a hopefully he listens. I can't remember his name. I feel horrible about that, but there was a young guy working with Ellie Jacobson's table, and he was just like, "I listen to you guys all the time. This is so cool." And then he came by our booth and like, that's the coolest feeling in the world, man.
Yeah, man.
Like
Was that
that's
the kid
just
that you gave was it a shirt or a stickers to?
yeah.
Yeah, that
Gave me a
kid.
shirt and
You guys
stickers.
had a good conversation. That was
Yeah,
cool, man.
and like it's just it's why we do this, man. It was awesome to get a lot of feedback from the network and the individual shows, and just
Special, man.
people liking it. And
A
that's
guy
awesome.
came up and wanted to. Oh, go ahead, Jake.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
A couple people, me and Justin have been walking around a lot on Friday, and we had a couple people come up to us and want to take pictures with us, with like their family.
Yeah,
I was like, us guys,
Really?
we're like the normies,
Yeah.
but it makes it feel special. It means that these words that we say and these people that we talk with and these people we interview and hold conversations with, that word gets out, and we got to remember that's the thing. People get upset on podcasts and people get fussy and break things down. And God, I'm so mad about this, and I can't believe this hobby's going in this direction. And it's like, dude, if we spread a little bit more positivity, stop trying to make this look like a gang fire sale, and actually do this in a positive way, people are gonna love it, and they're gonna remember it forever. And it's gonna be a litmus test on how long this can last. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a testament to how Jake, the kid Jake scared.
I was literally waiting for Kate.
It's gonna be a testament to how long this could last. But yeah,
Danielle beat me to it.
Man,
Yeah.
that was awkward.
Jake, why
about
don't you
it,
tell us
Jake.
what happened?
Well,
Tell
so
him
I
about
was
first
gonna.
person. I'll tell him about second person.
So you want to tell him about the kid?
Yeah, you tell him your POV, and I'll tell him what it was like.
Jake's
to watch the
version,
ordeal.
there's Sky's version.
Well, I was gonna talk about a guy before that I just thought was cool. This is not the kid that I scared. But no, I was sitting in the hotel. I think I was waiting for you, Sky, actually, to come up and help you show you the room. And I was just sitting there in the waiting room on my phone, and I just kind of look up, and this dude's walking by, and he stops, and he pauses, he looks at me, he goes, "Jake," and I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm Doug." And he didn't give me his last name.
Oh, that was Doug
He's
from
like,
Corpus.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. And he
Dude,
was
he's
just like,
badass.
"Man, I listen to the show all the time. You guys are great, blah, blah." And I was like, "Dude, yeah, thank you so much." Like, that's fantastic. And, I love that shit, man. It makes my day.
I tried to hunt him. I wanted to hunt him down Sunday and give him a shirt before I left, but I didn't.
He got bears, rats, and corn snakes.
My guy.
Yeah. Right? Like, great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so the kid, Sky, do you want to tell him about the kid, or do you want me to tell him?
I'm glad we could go both ways. What do you want? What are the? Let's
Well,
see.
I want to hear.
Yeah,
that's right.
No surprise there.
So we step outside for a second. We're talking about one of our friends, and we're right outside the venue, and Jake sees a dad, what looks to be a younger adult or older teenage son, and then an even younger kid who's probably like 10 years old walking up.
He was older than 10. He was like at least 12, 13.
All right, we'll give you the
13.
benefit of the doubt. We'll say he's 12 or 13. Which
does it really matter?
I think it makes it worse if he's older. So Jake's like, oh, he sees him like 15 feet away. He's like, "Oh, hey, man, that's our shirt." And he starts walking towards him,
that's
and
not
he's
how
like,
I said it.
"Well, okay. Oh, hey, that's our shirt." Starts walking towards the kid. He's like, "What's up, man?" And he's got his hand out. And at this point, the kid's like flinched back into his dad's arms. And he's like looking up at his dad. And his dad's and the older son are looking at each other. And they're like, they kind of get what's going on. And the kid's like freaking out. He's like, Jake's like, at this point, he's like, "THP. You know the podcast? That's me. I'm Jake."
No, this is not. You misinterpreted. That is not how that went at all.
Look, you had your chance to tell your perspective. I'm telling you what I saw. Okay.
So what you saw was wrong. Okay.
Let me finish. Then the older brother finally goes, "Look, that's Jake. We listened to him." And then finally the kid just nods his head while he's like got a tear coming out of his eye. And then they walk off. Yeah. And Jake walks back over to us like with the funniest face. And I think it was me and Preston. We were sitting there just literally cracking up the whole time. Like, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my freaking life.
I heard that Jake picked him up and shook him.
Dude,
I grabbed it. I was like, "You motherfucker." No.
I'm Jake. THP.
No.
You're wearing me on your shirt.
So
I
how
am
it
your shirt.
actually went.
Okay.
So how it actually went. He was actually wearing a THN shirt. It was the network shirt.
Oh, the
It
OG
wasn't
one.
the
Yeah.
yeah, it was the THN
So he
shirt.
probably listens to Corn Stars and nothing else.
Probably.
Who the hell's Jay?
So how it
You're
went
not
was
Chris. You're scary.
yeah, you're
I
scary.
only listen for the Chondro
This
cast.
kid was almost as tall as me. I don't know how I'm scary.
My kid's almost as tall as you, and she's 6, bro.
Shut the hell up, Chris. So no, but I saw this kid just walking by. He's wearing THN shirt, and I came up and I was like, "Hey, man, nice shirt." I wasn't like, that's me, Skylar. Thank you. I was like, "Hey, man, nice shirt." I went to go like give him ducks, and he just like looked at me like I was fucking crazy,
You're gonna try
and
punch
I
me?
was like. Yeah, I'm that's I'm on one of the podcasts on there. He keeps looking at me, and I was like,
Don't you recognize my voice?
I was like, THP, dude. He's just like, I was just like, whatever. And he finally like gave me the nuts. He's just kind of like looking at me all fucking sideways. I was like, man, I just look like a total creeper right now. It was.
It's like
It-
two
it-
nuts.
right now?
Hey, I got some puppies in a van.
Yeah.
Come check them
You
out.
totally left out the part where he flinched into his dad's arms.
I didn't see that. I must have panicked when he actually didn't fucking.
When you walked up with that
Yeah.
fist out, homeboy said,
Yeah, I must have missed
like,
that.
Daddy
man.
saved me.
But
My
Yeah.
boy Matt here in
So
Norton
that
just
was-
said Jake would scare all the kids at the PetSmart.
yeah,
I laughed because I walked past him
Yeah.
about like a dozen times and just kind of giggled every time because he just looked at me and keep going. I was like,
yeah. So yeah, that was my embarrassing story.
I think
for
the
the
joke
weekend.
was then at that point where like he probably found that shirt at like a Goodwill or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that's what we were saying. We're like, he totally got that from
So-
Goodwill. He doesn't even
Yeah,
listen
that was
to the
horrible.
show.
I'm not gonna
So,
lie.
anyways, on a side note,
Salvation
Jake's
Army.
not allowed within
No.
100 yards of a elementary school now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
On a registry somewhere now.
Yeah,
That boy's on a list.
I was.
he got that dog in him.
Yeah, I'm never doing that again. For the record, that was no.
Not
That
that
was
dog.
that was
No.
horrible. That was like one of the worst experiences in my entire life. I will put it that
Oh,
way.
I'm sorry that
Just-
we're making fun of it, Jake.
chalk that
Yeah,
up
no,
to a
I'm just
humbling
traumatized
experience,
over
brother.
here, but
It
yeah,
sounds like you wanted to be that
it
kid's
was.
hero
It
really
was
bad.
like, all right. No, I didn't. I literally just wanted. I was gonna come up and say all I was planning on doing was saying nice shirt. I thought he was gonna dap me up, and he did nothing, and so I panicked.
You
Okay,
like
I
yellow
was
rats?
gonna walk-
I like
I
yellow
was-
rat snakes.
I think you're lucky you didn't get maced.
Yeah,
I'm Selena
no.
forever.
I was literally just gonna give him. I was literally just gonna give him nuts and walk off. And
You know who I am?
That was not. That was not the plan at all.
Hey,
I
kid,
just-
you want
Me,
to?
it's Jake.
No.
Podcast.
Oh my god. I hate you all. I hope you know that.
Hey,
Hey,
you
who
notice how
brought
I'm
this
completely leaving this alone, right?
Huh?
You notice how I'm completely leaving this alone?
Yeah, I appreciate you.
I-
Dickheads.
I love it.
Blame it
No.
on Danielle. She brought it up.
Yeah, Danny, you suck for that. I totally forgot about that. I totally had blocked that out of my head because it was
Sure,
absolutely
you did.
horrible.
You've been crying yourself to sleep every
People
night.
never
I
forget.
have. I have.
20 minutes ago, we all loved each other. Now we're all dickheads.
We're all, oh man, yeah, positivity. But guess what Jake did?
Oh, that's rich.
Oh man.
That's rich.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right,
So yeah,
guys.
so Friday was a success.
Friday was a success. I could
Yes.
definitely see it as being a burden to the vendors. If I was a vendor, I would stop, and my anxiety would say, I'm vending 3 days, not 2. I need to
Right.
knock it out of the park 3 days. Now my sore throat's going to be even that much worse. Make sure the New Balance are on.
What
Not
the hell are you
Nikes,
doing
right?
on the third day?
Yep.
What do you mean? Well, like no, just because you're talking
Talking.
so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
so
Okay.
but yeah, okay. So
That's why your throat was sore. Yeah.
were we going to talk about any animals that stood out, or were we going to talk about maybe some of our pickups?
Well, actually, I was going to say is Smitty. I sent you a couple videos earlier in the Facebook chat of our table and Jason's table. If you want to show them,
Ooh.
out.
Hey, yo, huge shout out to Jason and those Tamaulipan.
Yeah,
split
dude.
Like, oh my god.
With Jason Hood, man, knocking it out of the park as always, dude.
Jake, don't look at my messages.
That light was literally next level. Like literally those lights we were using.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'll bring the Barons out at the house and like put them underneath. I've made sure to bite some bright lights for the room just to try to help it out and on flashlight. But those lights were bringing out colors in those snakes that were like impeccable. It was like that was the that's what you wanted the customer to see. And I'm sitting there holding a couple of those snakes like, oh damn, like these things are fire, man. Like holy crap.
Man.
Like you don't normally see this stuff.
Yeah,
like,
and they looked great, man.
Dude, it's the combination.
And then the customers.
spectrums.
Then the customers took home, looked at them in regular light, and said, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, they're like, "What happened to the snake I bought at the show?"
Yeah, this thing isn't blue.
No, but there was a ton of people that like when they stopped by Billy's table, that was the one thing they like pointed out the most. I saw that consistently. People were like, "Oh, look, there's Barons." Yeah.
And Phil, by the way, I wanted to compliment your gun cases for the displays, man. Those were really freaking cool.
Yeah, man,
I love that look, man. Because like I like the it's the Clint idea with pythons being set up in displays, colubrids and delis. So I liked how you had the colubrids and the delis in there, but like that case just made it look so freaking cool, man. I really like that. So
it looks a lot better. Yeah, man, appreciate that. It looks a lot better when you have deli cups of the exact same size, so that they're literally fit perfect. You can get 4 across or 5 across or whatever. But dude, it was we needed to protect those delis. We knew we were gonna have overflow animals that needed to go into deli cups, and I had those cases laying around at work, and I was like, you know what? Let me just bring them. If they work, great. If they don't, and I like how they open towards us. You know what I mean? So that you have a completely flat top so that people can see in. And then if I got to pull one out, it clicks open. We take a deli out, click it down. Now you can use it as a table. So they work.
It's cool. It was real cool.
Man.
Yeah. Hey, Exotic Hog chat. My guy.
Hey, dude, that guy had a badass setup.
So it's a walk. Dude, yeah. And dude, thank you. I'm repping your shirt because I love your hog nose. Is
that the younger kid?
Amazing.
He's like 17 or 18.
No.
This thing even cooperating. This thing's struggling. Come on.
It looks a little laggy on my end.
Jeff.
There's Jeff.
Jeff still looks great though.
You're not
my name is Jeff.
Me. Look at all that.
I like how those hats came out.
Oh, dude, I'm repping your hat right now.
Same. Super comfy.
That's Jason's table.
Jason had some heat, man.
That boy always got the heat.
And all he talks about is how terrible he did this year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, man.
It's like, man, I had a terrible season. Here's some snakes nobody's ever produced before.
Yeah.
He was saying, he was like, he's like, I knew before I came here the bad thing about putting those one Mexican localities up there that it would make all the other ones look like crap. But dude, he was not lying. Those things were glowing.
Those things are insane.
Daylight.
Those are insane.
Glowing in the daylight.
Oh my God.
His other tigers are like trophy tigers. And those things next to the Mexicanus are just
unreal.
Yeah, it was insane.
Radioactive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sold them too.
I don't know. What the hell is that?
Oh, no way. I didn't know that.
That's my frog.
That's a frog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we're into my stuff. Yeah, I got 3 Suriname horn frogs. So I'm finally able to get those again. I'm so excited about those things.
And they're so freaking cute, man. They're literally the size of like a silver dollar, and they're adorable.
They are adorable.
Ooh, those white-sided bulls that David produced.
Those gun cases.
Yeah, those white-sided bulls were a problem.
They're cool, man.
Billy's going to end up with some of those.
Yeah, man, for real. And I'm pretty sure Dave was saying, I guess that line doesn't get that big.
Yeah, a lot of the morph bulls are not very big. They have a lot of northern bull in them, and they're like 4.5, 5 foot.
Oh,
that's not good for Billy to hear.
Look at those Barons.
And big clutches. They're not like the southern bulls. They have big clutches, 14, 18 eggs.
Yeah, Dave showed me pictures on his phone of those the man. Now I can't remember the not the other bulls he had there, but there were the other Pituophis that he had not brought. And dude, just like your eggs, Chris, just gigantic.
I sexed some Black Pines and some Trumbauer bulls, Trumbauer Hypo bulls for him.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Cool guy, by the way. Super cool guy.
Dude. After the show, we linked up on Facebook and we swapped numbers and we were texting back and forth. And dude, it's amazing how much like he's been in the South Florida Herp Society and all the people he knows. And he was actually acquaintances with my late mentor, and like they swapped snakes back in the early 90s. So dude, the guy's a wealth of knowledge, man. Wealth of knowledge.
Cool guy.
Yeah, Dave's a good guy.
He got some steaks from me too, which was pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So are we gonna go? So Billy's, do we show off the trinkets and stuff? Or did you show pictures of them or no? Billy,
I think
it was
briefly.
Okay.
Yeah, however you guys want to do it. I just sent the ones that I sent the group.
Well, real quick, was there anything y'all saw that you didn't buy that you wanted to mention?
There was quite a few, my friend. Quite a few.
Yeah, always is.
You want to do like our top three? We'll just go round robin again. Smitty, you want to kick it off?
And these are didn't buy but wanted to,
or just stand out.
I'm starting.
We couldn't buy or whatever, you know. What's up, Justin? What do you got, baby?
Oh, so Tony D had those ultras, those extreme ultras that he had last year that I didn't get, and I didn't grab one to get an ultra mill from him. And then what else was there? There was a good bit of Leonis, so there was a good bit of those. Now I've kind of gotten that bug again. But as far as stuff that like I saw and felt compelled to like have but couldn't, I mean, there really wasn't a ton. Sean Bradley had some really nice Castani corns on his table. Actually ended up getting one. Other than that, I really don't. I mean, some of the tree monitors that the guy at Sundown. Oh, those Strophuris that Sundown had. He had those last year too. And God, those things are freaking cool.
And one thing I will say about his Strophuris, he has kept the price appropriate.
Yeah,
I think his animals not only look fantastic health wise and like size wise, but his price was right where it should be. You know what I mean? He wasn't asking highway robbery because they're the only Strophs in the whole show. You know?
Yeah,
that was
right.
Cool. And
no, for sure.
Not to jump on top of Justin's spiel, but Eslin, if you're still in the chat, bro, I am not a member of a South Florida Herb Society, but I'm actually looking to get into it too. So DM me after this, and we'll rendezvous. But sorry, Smitty, go on.
No, I mean that was pretty much it.
Yeah, Jake, what do you got?
Well, I was about to blow my entire wad on a yellowtail Crebo, but I decided not to. Decided that was not best.
It's a lot of animal, man.
Yeah, I know, and I have enough pits to eat me ass now. So one day. But I mean, dude, there was so much there, man. You know, it was all cool. Yeah, all the Crebos were awesome. There's a few tables with Gonyosoma on them that looked really cool. I got to see there's somebody there with the black Jansenii, the adult pair.
Which
those were cool.
The male in the normal pair of those.
Oh my god,
ridiculous!
Dude. Oh my,
I'll take that over the all black ones.
Yeah, man,
day,
I'm kind of with you. The black ones are cool, but the normals are where it's at. So those are really cool to see. I saw a couple cave dwelling rat snakes, which I talked to Billy. I talked to Billy quite a bit, but then I talked to Preston. He talked me out of them because he's got them and he's going to be producing them. So I decided to hold out on those because that's like I'm not big into aid stuff, but those cave dwellers, man, really want those. Yeah, there's a lot of cool hog noses too. You know, I've kind of recently got into hogs, and it took me 2 days to finally pull the trigger on one from Eslin. So that was awesome. Really appreciate him hooking me up with that. But yeah, there's a lot. There's almost too much. There's too much to actually like comprehend all of it. 'Cause there's like, ooh, that's cool. Ooh, that's cool. And so it's always a good show. It's always solid variety. I almost bought Smitty a ball python just to return the favor. But yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
We were about to buy you a bunch of king snakes and put them in your bag, but it didn't happen.
I don't know if JMG was vending. I didn't notice.
I think they.
I don't think they were.
I don't think they were.
I don't know.
A lot of hog vendors though.
Yeah, there was
hogs everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I was having a hard time, and now Brent's here, and big shout out to Brent. I talked his ear off about hogs, and he helped me decide on the perfect one. So big thanks to Brent. Yeah, Brent's a homie, man. Love that guy.
Yeah, dude.
Phil?
Oh, geez. Well, I'll start off by saying, Tyson mentioned Texas Indigos. There was a ton of
dude.
There was a ton of dry mark on that
so
show.
much dry
A
mark.
lot of, yeah.
I wanted
And,
all of them.
And it was good to see the diversity of species. You had blacktails, you had Texas, you had some reds, and I was shocked because in the past, the only dry mark on you ever saw were like not looking good import yellowtails, which, by the way, the only yellowtails I saw was one wild import that was kind of off to the side, and then a ton of captive bred babies. Excuse me. And but dude, Texas Indigos, there was a lot of great looking animals, and they weren't just selling pairs, which made me pleased, because I know there's so many people out there like myself that need one or the other. Maybe they got a pair and one of them passed away, or maybe they were raising stuff up and thinking, oh, I'll just get a girl later on or something. Dude, that was really cool. There was Nemo also had a wild rose subok that was just
so
on
nice.
fire.
Fire. That was a good one.
And if I had more money and more space right now, because it was an adult female, I probably would have picked that up too. So that one was really impressive. And I think that in the in the future, I definitely want to revisit those high orange subocs. I got the bug, man. I got it bad. But one of my favorite things of the whole show was Casey Cannon's Angolan pythons, man. Dude, those Angolans, they always did it for me. They're one of the only python species I really want to get into. And dude, under those lights, man, those infamous lights, they're just screaming.
Oh my God, holding one of those things.
Yeah, it's unlike anything else.
Messed me up.
I thought I sent a video of you holding the one angle.
I don't think you did, Sky.
I did.
I don't think that happened.
I don't think you did.
But
I have to add to my
three.
list. There was
go for it.
Egernia.
Oh yeah,
I got to hold an Egernia for the first time.
There was some badass.
Oh yeah, I got to witness that.
Those are cool lizards, man. Those are really cool lizards.
They are very.
Silly
Billy,
Billy?
see any standouts?
Yeah, top 3.
Yeah. 4 or 2. What you got, baby?
Or 10.
First thing I remember, and this is just stuff that I didn't get, because the stuff, obviously, I got the stuff that I saw and immediately didn't even think twice. There was melanistic. Were they Theri?
Yeah, Tony D.
Yeah, Tony D.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with those guys, but when I saw those, I was like, "Holy crap, that's really cool!" Because especially when I think of Theri, I think of all the different colors and stuff. Outside of that, at the Turtle Source, this is going to seem really random, but there was a golden flame sliders that they had, and the outside of the shell was neon orange.
I think I remember those. Those are badass.
Yeah, I've never seen those before. I'm sure they've probably been around for a bit, but I was very intrigued with those. And then outside of those, on Wayne's table, because I don't talk about it much, but I've looked at turtles too. I'm just I'm a psycho.
Of course you
I
have,
like,
Billy.
and I like everything.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not surprised by that.
I know. You guys all enable me.
Nobody here
the-
enables you on turtles, Billy. Let's
Yeah,
get that
right.
Hamilton. Hamilton.
Dude, Spangler Eye.
Spangler.
I know you can only have them in Florida, but the Indian spotted turtles,
Hamilton.
those guys have always been really cool in my mind, and especially seeing the babies, just seeing little spotted turtles with raised shells and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, those are just really cool. Then of course Jeff and Kendra ended up getting them. There was some yearling southern white lips that were there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about their white lips.
Those are cool.
Yeah, man, those things were straight.
Yeah, so they got some, and I'm keeping them for till next week, and I've already been lit up by one of them. So white lips doing white lip things, So kind of just letting me know that if I do ever get them, what I'm getting into. Can't wait till those are like.
I'm surprised you don't have
now.
white lips yet, Billy. To be honest,
I have my reasons. I'll be honest. I am, and hear me out for say anything. I'm scared of them because of my. Well, hear me out because of my schedule, and I know that if they end up, let's say they tip their water dish or something like that. Like today, I worked a 24-hour shift yesterday, and I went straight to the second job from the station today, and I didn't get home till like 8 o'clock. So, having that type of schedule, I kind of have to also pick species that if something happens and they got to go, a day or two, they'll be okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of keepers that are a lot more attentive and experienced than me have had issues with white lips. So I have a healthy respect for how on top of things you have to be with them. So maybe someday, but
I'm right there with you. I've always liked white lips, but I don't think I would ever own them for that same reason.
You want to talk about iridescence and like these things that these things like I look at them and I don't even have a light on. They're just getting ambient light from like another room and you're seeing the iridescence. Like it's insane. They're gorgeous animals.
Give Dominique's rainbow bow a run for its money.
Seriously.
It's a badass rainbow bows to show too.
Yeah. Trace Harden for the win of the rainbows.
Yeah.
Trace has been consistent with those for years. He's
man.
Oh, and shout out, I can't not do it. Balin had a killer tiger that I ended up talking to a past customer, Kevin, into going and getting. Kevin got one of my Russian Balins last year. And I was like, hey man, I don't know what your plan is with him, but there is a killer tiger female on Jason's table, and he ended up going over there and grabbing it. So
nice.
Easily the nicest tiger at the show by far.
From the man himself.
Yeah. No, if I didn't have an army of them already, I would have got that without thinking. But yeah, those are the ones that stick out to me. Oh, crap. One more, top 5. There was red patternless bulls.
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't see them.
Yep.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I didn't see
they're
those.
Cool, right?
Holy crap, man.
You take the line bread and you throw it into a morph, and on the patternless bulls, there's 2 lines of patternless. There's
what table was it at?
Back wall on the left when you walked in. I don't remember the name.
The ones I saw, it was there was patternless on Dennis McNamara's table, which they sold. I think they were sold before he even got to the show. And then the other guy, he was kind of close to us, like 2 rows over towards the back door.
Okay, that was my buddies then. That was my buddy Kevin and his dad.
Kevin, yes. Yeah. I got a rack off of Kevin years ago.
Yeah, they do a bunch with the bulls, man. Their collection is freaking unreal, man. I got to see it firsthand, and it was legitimately mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah.
Bulls are fun. Bulls are fun, man.
Yeah, the red. Well, yeah, Chris, I've been talking to you about bulls the past couple days. So,
Billy, if you get into bulls, you're gonna go down.
That's a deep
rabbit
dark path
hole
because
that you can't get out of, my friend.
Pituophis, man.
That's why I don't have them, because I know myself.
You will have a problem.
Bulls go, hey, you're doing bulls. Here's about 18 other species that are real badass.
Real
Yeah.
Well, I already got
badass.
the ladder rats, and those are basically pits. So
Yeah,
I'm already dipping my toe.
they're like
in
little
that.
ones.
Yeah, little baby pits.
Dude, those
Or I
white
gotta
lips,
paint.
man, or not white lips, excuse me, those white-sided, man, those things.
White-sided bulls are cool.
They plant that seed in your brain, dude.
I have not stopped thinking about those head patterns.
Yes,
on
the
those
two
two.
different head patterns.
Yeah,
And one
And
had like
every
the
one of them is
white.
different.
Oh
Everyone's
yeah,
different.
dude. That's the signature on the paper.
yeah. I told Dave about it. He was like, "Yeah, I got more at the house. What do you need? I got you." Like, he's like, "Here, let's figure this out now." And I'm like,
Dude, he may have Miami Azanthic white-sided bulls. And
Really?
those are, hey, down with the bottomless Pituophis. Let's go.
nice, Don. Very nice.
If you can find Miami, because there's two different lines. There's a Ballum and Miami line of Azanthic, and they're not compatible. But Miami Azanthic white-sided bulls are crisp. They are not doing. It's sad. I don't have any gophers or bulls, with the exception of the vertebralis in the gopher world, and that's a time and space thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
they are. If I didn't have a billion Jani and all the pines and stuff, I would have more bulls. But time and space, and they eat, bro. They eat nonstop.
And priorities.
Yeah,
Priorities, man. Jani.
Jani are the
Yeah,
best.
Jani's
Number one, baby.
Jani's top. The last pit that I owned was a patternless leucistic that whatever, I don't remember what it was or where it came from. I think I bought it underground as like on a whim, but I got the thing like 3.5, 4 foot, and then I went up trading it to a friend. But it was patternless leucistic with something else, and it was bubblegum. It was patternless bubblegum pink.
Oh yeah. Those are cool.
Dude.
That would have been a Florida.
Yeah.
That would have been a Florida pine.
Yeah. Okay, dude.
I was about to
Crazy
say,
animal.
that sounds like a Florida pine.
Yeah, crazy animal,
Yeah,
man.
those
Like,
things are wicked, man.
They're these like big pink things that look like that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and
exactly.
They're just pink.
Exactly.
Chris
Look
is
at that
showing
animal.
his snake.
Oh man, look at that
Casually
animal.
whipping one out. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you mean one of
It's
these?
big. It's pink.
It's white and pink.
I love these things. And mine, everybody
Veiny.
has problems with Florida pines being fussy and
Yeah,
shitty. Dude, mine are so chill. Mine are like,
that's
dude,
awesome.
But
Dude,
this
my
boy
albinos
is
are
so pink.
absolutely
I wish I could take
fantastic.
pictures of it. I don't know if you can see the pink on it, but he is so pink.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Albino Floridas are one of my favorite like albinos overall.
They look
Just
so
like-
cool, right?
They get the reds in them and stuff.
I got a white one and a red one, buddy. They should breed next year, hopefully.
Oh, I was talking to someone about that. I don't remember who.
Reds.
About your albino pair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got 'em?
I'm trying to figure out who I was talking to.
You cannot have
But
Florida
basically
pines
that
in Florida anymore. Any of the southern or
Can you
Florida
have the
pines,
morphs?
You can have the more. You have the morphs. You just can't have normals or hets.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah,
They're
so you can have albinos and you can have patternless and you have leucistic.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the three.
Yeah, but you can't
That's
have more than one normal or one het or something.
Well, it
Somebody
used to be-
somebody told me that you can't have normals at all anymore. It used to be you could have one normal and then any of the morphs. You can't buy any of them. You have to be gifted them. But it used to be somebody told me this weekend that they changed it to where you couldn't have any normals whatsoever. Whether that's true or not,
That's
I do
what
not
I
know.
thought was the case. I didn't even know you could have the morphs. But
Yeah, it used to
They
be
have
you
morphs.
could have one per person per household, but you couldn't buy it, sell it, or trade it. You had to field
Okay.
collect it. And then I guess just because they're so scarce nowadays, and because certain fish and wildlife agencies can't tell the difference between a Pituophis and a friggin' snapping turtle, they want to make it easy on their people and just say no. And when they outlawed alligator snappers in Florida, they lumped in Florida pines. So I'm pretty sure that there is some kind of like, I don't want to say personal possession permit or something that you can get to have like a pine. You know what I mean? That way you can use it in your outcrosses and stuff. But in terms of you like just going in the bush and catching one, you're not allowed to anymore.
okay, makes sense.
Yeah. It was
So what do you
probably
think about it,
Preston because
Chris?
Preston knows all those rules. So
Yeah,
Say
I've got
that.
go ahead, Jake.
I was just gonna say, Billy, if you guys can have albinos, hit me up next year.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah. I'll take some reds, man. I love how the reds look.
They're badass.
Yeah.
All of them
Knock
are
it out.
badass.
I love
Now
I
Pidgeot's
love those
podcast.
snakes, man. Yeah, picture of a snake.
All right, so outliers for me. I spent a long time, most of the day Friday, standing at the same 3 or 4 tables in a little horseshoe because they had all the things I love. And it was really hard for me to not buy some of the River Road Alterna that Rob had, Rob Nemo. He had some absolutely stunning River Road stuff. I did end up getting a trio of Alterna from him. We'll talk about that later. Alterna are my soft spot. Tony D had some West Langtree stuff. He had some 277 stuff. I've already got 277 stuff, but the West Langtree pair that I really liked, Harry's wife bought. I kind of guided her through some of the Mexicana stuff at the show. It was really cool. I did see a leucistic and a het leucistic Alterna there, which is kind of neat because I've never seen them in person. It's not something I want necessarily in my collection. The hets are really cool. The solid white gray band doesn't do it for me, I guess. I do like solid white snakes. I just showed you a leucistic pine snake, but for me, there's a lot to that. There's the scales, the eyes, the way it looks. Whereas the leucistic gray band is kind of like a perfectly solid white snake that kind of loses all of its love. Not that it's a bad snake, anyways. But looking at the Alterna, it was really hard for me to not get all of it. I'm glad I didn't because there's a space and time thing involved. I did buy a lot of animals, but that's besides the point. The other thing, I went into this show with a very specific notation to myself, and that was no more corn snakes. Not because I don't love corn snakes, and not because I don't want to get more corn snakes, but I've already got more corn snakes coming to me this year. I produced over 100 this year. I produced the snakes that I wanted to keep this year, and I've already received a lot of the stuff I wanted. There were some really nice palmettos. I was given a deal on a pair of palmettos that I'm dumb for not buying just to sell them. But I don't think that palmettos are the snake for me. I've said that before. Again, there were some anery scaleless stuff. I love the anery scaleless. I don't know if I want scaleless. Some of the crazy high pied blood reds. Some of the stuff at Jeff Abbott's table, Greg Abbott's table, excuse me. Lee Abbott's table.
Abbott.
That's what I said. Yeah, Lee Abbott.
Greg's his evil twin.
Yeah, his evil twin, Greg. I'm not always the best names, but the corn snakes across the board. God, every table just had badass stuff. Me and Jake were looking at a caramel motley diffused. That was like perfect, and I could literally plug it into what I have, and it was a female, and they gave me an awesome deal on it. And I stopped and I said, Chris, you produced caramel diffused this year. You know what I mean? I produced caramel cinder diffused this year. I produced caramel cinder diffused Sunkiss super mask this year, right? So why am I buying more of something that I have within my collection, the availability? So I kind of stopped myself, which is good. I mean, when you have a million corn snakes, you don't necessarily anymore. But the third thing that got me, this is going to be a problem, is some of the hognose, because I've had hognose a couple times, and I am worried about my allergies with a bite. But God, dude, there were so many tables that had so many beautiful hognose. Some of the lemon ghost, the extreme lemon ghost stuff, some of the Mai Tai stuff. The toffees are probably my favorites. That's a simple recessive T positive albino, I think.
Yeah,
and,
Smitty got a toffee last year, right?
I don't think Justin has any hognose.
Not me.
Oh, yeah. I thought you did.
No. I don't.
I thought you did. Okay.
I had normals at one point.
Oh, all right.
Which the normals are badass too. Do I see these? 100% head this, 100% God, dude, these things are so cool. And so it's eating at the back of my neck. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to buy anything until I really convince myself that it's something I need to add. And I think I'm probably in a position where I don't need to be adding much, anyways. But dude, yeah. Some of the lizards at this show. I saw some Cridodactylus on Friday that were gone Saturday, and they were the spotted ones. The scientific name starts. It's Cridodactylus, and it starts with a P. Pamiara. They're the smaller ones. They were wild caughts, but God, dude, they're cool. And it was kind of one of these. Do I want to dip my toe and check that out? There was a table full of Phelsuma. The guys vending right next to Tony D. Had a couple of
yeah.
They had some
that
of the
table was awesome.
dude.
They had some Phelsuma species I'd never even seen or heard of before.
They had the striped Lygodactylus.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I forget the scientific name on them. Dude, they had Urodactyloides. They had, just amazing table. I got their card because I'm going to try to convince them to go on the podcast with you guys and talk about what they're doing. They do day geckos, small New Caledonian geckos, and cave geckos. Like they work with a bunch of small, neat animals. So y'all have to have them on and talk with them.
In Williams Eye too, right?
They had Williams, yeah. They did not have any of the neon head, but they had the larger species that has the stripes on it, which is super cool.
Awesome.
I think I've said it a million times, probably burn everybody's ear off. One of these days I'm going to retire and I'm going to have nothing but Phelsuma. I'm definitely going to have a Phelsuma room one day. It's not within my realm of what I can handle. It's a high, again, Billy said it really good with the white lips. It's an animal that you're not going to be able to walk away from for 4 or 5 days and not be worried about, right? Like it's something that needs kind of constant attention. If they dry up, they'll desiccate very quickly. They need a lot of feeding. They're not really eating out of a bowl. You know what I mean? But yeah, and then everything else that I saw I really liked, or the tables that I went to where I found things I really liked, I ended up buying stuff. I bought a bunch of stuff. So yeah, but Sky, what's up, dog?
Thought I did.
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
I saw, bro.
I honestly didn't freaking walk around as much as I wanted to and see everything. The quick trips that I did, kind of run around with a couple people, and I was mainly kind of just looking at stuff that would be possibilities to add to the collection, which isn't too crazy. And then I was trying to just use my time wisely, basically. But the 3 things that stood out were Brett actually mentioned one of them in the chat was the Codalus. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it was those common green forest lizards from Sri Lanka that were in the small room in the back corner. They were right next to Kevin over at Mutant Reptiles. But dude, I literally sat there and looked at all 3 of those adults that he had set up for probably all of 5-10 minutes. I was standing there like, I think that was when Jake walked away from me. He was like, "All right, bro, I'm gonna go head off, dude." Because like,
was that was the table? If you were looking at Kevin, was right to the left of him.
Right to the left.
Yeah. Dude, those were fucking sweet.
Those things were sick.
Cool.
So those would have been something cool to add, or maybe in the future when I got some time and space, that would be a cool thing to add.
I think it was Elegant Ectotherms. Was that table? They also had a bunch of the collared lizards.
Yeah, that was the ones with all the lemon and
the sapphires and aquas.
That freaking
spent a lot of time at that table.
Kevin got some freaking their table was awesome with lizards, man. That was a good colorful setup. They had.
I got a local buddy breeding those Colodis. I'll reach out to you and talk to you about it. They're dope, dude. Yeah. They're really easy. They're really good lizards.
Oh yeah. Well, he saw me sitting there staring at them, so he started giving me the spiel on everything, and I took it in, but I was like, man, I mean, they look awesome. It sounds awesome, but I got way too much on my plate as it is.
Yeah.
And then I seen a beautiful little Varanus Union, a little tricolored monitor at Snakes, and it was either Snakes and Sundown or Snakes and Sunset. Whatever their table is called. Yeah. That thing was freaking immaculate. I mean, that a lot of people that know my monitor fascination, they know that that's a dream species for me. So that thing was awesome to see in person. And I didn't even give myself the opportunity to ask them to hold it because I knew if that happened, your boy's popping out the credit card. That credit card's coming out and your boy's going to be getting some limbs chopped off when I get back home. And then, the third one I saw, you guys already know that I kind of made a dream come true with it. It was like one of my top things that I was not wanting to see at the show, but I did see at the show. Everyone was mentioning in the comments how cool Brian at Sundown Reptiles is, and that was his tree monitors he had hooked up, man. And I had messaged him a bunch of times, like on Instagram, and just like telling him how like ready I want to do it, but just the timing's off. And then that first day, Friday, when I walked up to Billy's table and I was like, "You got to be kidding me." I think I even said it to Billy. I was like, "You got to be kidding me. This guy's literally vending behind us like this is not what I need." And if you know me, I can't hold it back. So like 10 minutes in, I go over, introduce myself, and like put a name to an Instagram account. We talked. I told him, I was like, dude, this is it's horrible that you're here, but it's freaking awesome because I feel like I'm going to end up going home with one of these things if things end up going my way while we're here. And, Saturday he come over, tap me on the shoulder, tell me he'd work with me on some things. We talked again some more. And then Phil knows I came up to him like, Phil, I got a decision to make. There's a couple stars. They're starting to line up. They're looking right there. And he's like, why are you wasting your time? What are you talking to me for?
Dude,
So,
Jupiter, Mars, Saturn,
dude,
they were all in as straight as an arrow.
It was like, so yeah, I went over there and we made a deal happen. So as soon as I get this new enclosure set up,
sometimes you got to answer.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was just, there's way too many, everything was in one spot. Way too many things were hooked up and lined up. And I would feel bad on my part if we just had all that whole interaction the whole week. And I'm like, I'll see you later, pal. Maybe in 2 years. So,
Yeah.
But
dude, even forget all that. Like I've had so many opportunities to score stuff and I was like, I'll get it next time. And then it disappears.
It's never there.
Or it's triple or quadruple the price. And I'm like, man, what did I do? So the arrangement that you did, man, like rock and roll, man.
Yeah. And everyone that I told, I pulled the trigger on it. They were all just like freaking fireworks stoked for me because they know how much I talk about this stuff and like how much I'm like, it'll happen. Like I'm going to make it it'll happen. And then it was just like, let's do it. Let's send it. Let's get it done.
And those were captive bred, right?
Yeah, dude. I mean, like U.S. captive born and bred. He's hand reared them. They're freaking.
And you can talk to the guy that's doing it.
We were the last ones there at the show, and his buddy that was helping him bend ended up having to bail. And I'm not going to stand there with both of my hands in my pocket while I'm watching someone work next to me. So
same.
I lended a hand to him, helped him pack up a little bit since we were already kind of caught up. And he's like, dude, I'm going to have all these things in the deli right here. If you want to just pick the one, we'll put your name on it and everything. He's like, I'll make sure to put that one back in the cage for you. And I was like, you don't have to do that. I'm good with anyone. He's like, dude, come on, dude, they're right there. So he was cool enough to do that for me too. Like, yeah, I mean, me and KJ, I was like, KJ, I can't pick one of these. So can you just come over here and give me some outside visual perspective? Because these things are like, I would literally take any one of them. They're all a dream to me. So he's like, all right, let's get realistic. Let's get down to brass tacks. Which one which one has this, So it was just a cool experience. Dude's awesome. Everyone in the chat's talking about how cool he is. He's a great guy. So
yeah, he was awesome. I didn't know him at all until I think it was either you or Preston that introduced me to him. And dude, he was an awesome dude. And he had one of the, as far as lizards go, he had the best table at the show, man.
On top 100%.
Of he had those monitors, and he had some badass guards, dude, didn't he?
Strophs.
Yeah. He had everything gecko you could think of, dude.
That shit was hot, man. He was on it.
Yeah.
You know what else I like too is that you've wanted that lizard for that species for a really long time, and like we know this, and you could have had it a long time ago, but you focused on the other things that were more important, and you think about how much more success you'll have because of all your time with the Joviensis.
Oh yeah.
And you know what I mean? And like
they laid the groundwork for me. So it's like I'm gonna get this, and it's like the whole time it's the same thing with the green trees for me. It's like I've loved green trees since I was 4 years old, and I read the Verdi book for the first time. So it's like I've wanted them since then, but you hear all the stigma, you hear all this, but you do 5-6 years of research and talking to people and listening to people, and then you finally pull the trigger, and you're more ready than you'd ever been before. So for me, it was
then you find out that they're like the easiest snakes.
Yeah, exactly. Which green trees are, which I know Green Tree Monitor is going to be if they're an advanced species, it's going to be a completely different book and story. But the fact that I have, like Phil's saying, I got almost 5 years of experience with lizards and monitors underneath my belt now. And now I've got 4 years specialized in Indonesian monitors. And I've talked to so many tree monitor keepers. Like it was just, I was chomping at the bit, and there's the food right there, and it's dangling in front of my face. And it's just like, all right, here's some extra teeth to go get it,
Yeah. And
it also. Go ahead, Phil.
I was gonna say, it also is pretty freaking awesome that you could just like text Stefani for advice too. You know what I mean?
God,
Like,
yeah, like
like
yeah. Now I got good
acquaintances
people
and
in my
friends
corner. I got the guys in my corner that would really, I don't have to, I'm not that guy hitting someone up in the middle of the night. They'll actually give me the time of day to respond back with some good information.
You earned it, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm stoked.
Nobody
On
more
that
deserving,
species.
brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, on that species, that was something that in 2000, maybe 2000 and 2003, when I was really getting heavier into the hobby, was kind of considered unkeepable, right? They all came in imported. They all died. Every single one of them. And it's so cool now, retrospectively, to see that they're sorted, they're bred, and you're able to go to a show and buy a captive bred example from somebody that cool, right? Somebody that doesn't have an ego. It's an expensive animal, right? There's no doubt. There's no questions about it. This is a high dollar, exotic, high end, difficult to keep animal, but it's captive bred, and you have somebody that's willing to talk to you and take their tenure and put it into your brain. Again, another one of the amazing things about this hobby and the amazing things about this show in particular.
It goes to show what kind of person Brian is, because this is an awesome quality that I think on him, because I see myself doing the same thing, and I've told my friends the same thing. He's not even going to send me the lizard until I send him some videos and some pictures of the enclosure fully set up with proof that I'm ready for this lizard, which I think that is so freaking cool. That is something that so many more people that are doing advanced species need to do. I mean, I understand a snake. You give everyone the spiel on the husbandry. You should be able to kind of figure out a snake is a little bit different thing. I'm not saying it's cut and dry easy, but
a lot of them are.
But there's a big, like I said, it's a different story. It's a different book when it comes to those things. So the fact that, he goes out of his way to make sure that all of his animals are going to good homes because he's put in that time and that effort. It just goes to show that, I'm glad I'm spending my money with that dude. Yeah. That's who I want to spend my hard-earned money with, is people like that.
When you're selling intelligent, special, hard-to-keep species, that's great to hear,
Yeah.
Awesome. We want to talk a little bit about what you kind of started. Why don't you start, and we can kind of go in a different direction. We'll go from you to Phil, Smitty, and go around. Why don't you tell us about anything else you might have, a little special pickup you might have gotten?
What'd you pick up?
I'll round it off, because that was my pickup that'll be coming soon. And then the one I did pick up, which you guys, the inner circle that was there, I know I'm not going to go into it, but I'll just say I got into a little smarter than a fifth grader match with another vendor. And I took a little tip from Billy that I learned at one of the shows we went to together, where if you get into a little bitter bad, I'm going to wait till he's back, since I'm talking about him right now.
Let him plug in. He just refilled his beverage.
He's right there.
Yeah. All right. So I was telling everybody how I took a tip from you this weekend, and how I got into a little smarter than a fifth grader match with one of the vendors while we were there. And after experiencing an episode with you at a previous show, I realized it's better to just kind of take a step back, take a deep breath, and just kind of hit them with a couple questions. And if they still want to be that smarter than a fifth grader guy, you just hit them with a low ball. And they're either going to tell you no and you walk away and you can be fine, or you're going to walk away and you're going to have, that guy might have your money in his pocket, but at least you got the animal, and you kind of just got to accept at that point. And long story short, hit homeboy with a low ball because he was being a total, and one of his little minions walked up to him and he gave me a little side eye head shake. And long story short, I walked away with a $300 peach throw. That was probably it was the most eye-catching peach throw that I did see at the quick couple runarounds I did around the show. That was the only one I stopped for to ask if I could hold, because there was something about it, and it was just really colorful and it looked healthy for its size. So I was like, let me, that was what it got it out of the container into my hand. And then long story short, that thing's this freaking special soul. It's back at the house right now, and we're on day 4. It's tongue feeding. It's giving.
Let's say I've already seen videos of you tongue feeding it.
I'll admit I was a little nervous when I did get it home and it got under the heat lamp for the first hour. It damn near prolapsed itself trying to poop because it was so dehydrated. And I had soaked it for an hour and a half that night we got home Sunday night. And that was the next morning. So I was like, okay, this thing needs hydration and it needs solid meals in it with some vitamins as fast as possible. And I think it was yesterday morning I came in there and there was a nice solid turd with the calcification at the end of it. And I just was like able to take a little bit of sigh of relief. Like, okay, it's hydrated, it's passing some solid material, and there's some calcification in there. So that felt really good. And this thing's ripping off tongue. So I mean, it's like I said, it's a special soul, man. I can't complain one bit. Best $300 ever spent at a show for sure.
Stoked for
Dude,
you, man.
when you set him up in that tub, which just goes to show you, like, if you do have the ability to bring extra tubs, whether you're a vendor or not, to a show, like, you had a tub that you had a bunch of crap and delis and whatever else, and you empty that tub out and you set that lizard up in a temp tub for the day and a half that it was going to be in it. And there was that point where after it drank, you give a little water bowl, put some bedding in there, a little tube for him to hide in, and that lizard looked up at you and was like, "Thanks, man.
Thank you."
Thanks."
You literally said,
I watched it, bro.
Yeah, you literally said, you were like, you guys just bonded right there. You just bonded. You can't ever get rid of the lizard. And I was like, I'm in love with that thing now. That was it. Me, you, and Chris, we all stood there and watched.
It was just sitting there drinking. And it kind of crawled in the water bowl, and it kind of
like any other lizard that age, that size, that just was imported is fucking banging its head up against the tub doing zigzags. I mean, like, I was glad you guys were able to experience that with me, because not a lot of people see that, or you just hear stories and just like whatever. But when you can actually see it, it's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Fucking magical, dude. Awesome.
Great.
Yeah, man.
Great.
But that was it. I came home with 8 new legs.
There you go. All right, Paint Shab.
Oh man, back to me.
Give us your list.
I spent a lot of time with Rob Nemo. He was only going to be there on Friday, and he had a pantheon of stuff I wanted. I did have the chance to get some Kentucky pines this year. He had a pair. They were very well priced. He was working deals on kind of everything, and I did not get them. That was a conscious decision that was difficult for me to make. But I know that I am in a position where I am going to be getting some FB90s probably in the next couple of weeks. But even then, I think until we're able to sort out what I'm going to do with my extra room, I'm at capacity. So I'm not getting anything else big. I can handle some more 3, 4, 5 foot. Well, probably 3 or 4 footers. But I'm not. I am not in a position to be bringing in another snake that's going to get over 6 foot. So I didn't get that. But I also have a very strict policy of not buying adult snakes. So I bought 5. I will buy adult snakes if they're from somebody I trust, from somebody who maintains their collection with a mentality that I agree with, and somebody with the tenure that I know is not going to have pathogens, will have maintained their quarantine properly, and will have looked at things in the same light that I do. And I know that Rob does that. So I picked up a trio of 5-year-old F1 West Alpine, and not just any West Alpine. They're Paisano Pass. They're cut matched. I believe Dan Johnson found the male, and Rob found the female at different times. And Rob produced this trio, and they're Alterna, and they are the dingiest, which I love, the kind of brown and dark, deep gray charcoal kind of colored Alterna. I thought there were some very colorful Boy Scout roads. If they were Boy Scout roads, they'd have a lot more orange than most Boy Scout roads, and they're not. He immediately was like, "No, those are West Alpine. How beautiful!" And he gave me a price on those animals, which I talk with, and I have mini group chats with Alterna guys. And when I told them what I paid, they were blown away. I paid essentially for that trio of adults what people are paying almost for babies that are not eating. So I was very happy to get those. They've all eaten.
Just so people know, that trio that he's talking about, there's one animal that is so exceptionally chocolate colored with orange banding. It is freaking.
And it has that crazy diffusion down his neck.
It is such a standout animal. I've never seen an Alterna with that look before.
And dude, I had no idea that they were cut specific.
Yeah, they're Paisano Pass specifically.
Knew the exact place where they're from. That's incredible.
Sick. Yeah, so when you take the road west out of Alpine, there's only one road west out. There are 3 cuts, and in between the second and third cut, there's a sign that says Paisano Pass, and that's why they call there's a cut on each side of the road. They call those 2 cuts, and they're like shitty cuts. They don't produce, and they're not real big. They call those the Paisano Pass cuts, and
I'm pretty sure Smitty and I were on those.
Yeah. Y'all, if y'all did anything West Alpine, y'all did those, and then you go a little bit further down the road, and there's some bigger cuts. But it's super exciting, and it's super special to have those. I did end up continuing my tenure with him, and it was kind of again, I spent a lot of time with this gentleman talking about his stakes. He has some River Road, he has some West Langtree stuff. But I did want to. My goal was to find more locality king snakes. I've really enjoyed my locality king snakes, and I wanted to have 3 or 4 more pairs. So I got a pair of Palos Verde Newport Morph Cow Kings. Again, they're F1s. He was talking about, I believe it was Brian Hobbs, having collected the adults that produced this pair. I think I'm saying his name right. And so again, I have a pair of snakes. They're 2019s. So again, 4 years old. He has not paired these. I thought they were proven. Talking back to him, they have not. But it was. Is Billy waving at us?
Do we have pics?
I think Billy has a question.
We did have pictures of some of this stuff.
People are asking for pics in the chat. If we have them, we're able to do
but
it.
I
don't know if we're able to that.
Do you want me to try, Smitty?
Internet struggle.
Yeah. But there's some.
Let me try.
There's some chocolatey goodness with very deep, rich gold. In fact, one of the males had just shed, so the male shed, so I took him out and took some pictures outside with them. Again, gorgeous animals. I love Gatula. I kind of also don't love Gatula, but I wanted to add some diversity in the collection, especially with stuff like that's going to eat a little easier when they have babies. So proud to have added those. Again, I got something with lineage that's tenured to the collection of this guy. Who's a longtime herper, who sitting there talking with Craig Trumbauer about these animals while I'm buying them, and again, the amount of money I paid for this adult pair would probably very much shock a lot of people, and so I continued spending money at those tables and hanging out with Howie Sherman. He didn't have a lot of corn snakes this year, and that was okay because I knew I wasn't buying any corns. But he had a whole table of F1 Chesapeake, Virginia Eastern king snakes, and they were tiny little hatchlings. And he showed me pictures of the adults who have a lot of white on them. And I got the male with the most perfect chain king pattern ever. And again, they're little tiny babies. They actually have not even eaten yet. I tried to feed them frozen thaw last night. They didn't go for it, but I've got some live I'm going to try. And again, king snake's not eating. I'm kind of not super worried about it. I'm pretty used to it. I've got a lot of king snakes not eating right now. And then kind of continuing that trend as far as my last 2 personal pickups, I got a pair of La Quinta California Kings, which are the polka dot California Kings. Again, Jerry Hartley, who we got to spend a lot of time with, who was an absolute sweetheart. He came out and smoked a cigar with us. Him and Jason Keller became best friends. They are some of the neatest looking California king snakes. They're black and white, and they have perfect little dots down their back. And I had made a trade with him. He got a male conjuncta from me that I produced this year. He got 2 females from me last year. So he kind of let me have the pick. He kind of said, hey, before anybody else gets any, you pick out the 2 you want. And he had a few behind the table, a few on the table. And it was really cool. All of my snake purchases were done on Friday. So everything that I actually got for just personally myself was purchased on Friday. And then I did very, very excited to have spent some time with Matt Baranak from Sassobeck Reptiles. He's one of the biggest names in leopard geckos. And now that my daughter has gone deep down the rabbit hole, and I've gone with her into leopard geckos, he is a name that you want to learn from. He also works with and breeds every color of tree monitor. Skylar, I don't know if you know that. And he's actually currently breeding monkey tail skinks.
Which fellow is this again?
Matt Baranak. He's with Sassobeck Reptiles. I think he recently relocated to Florida. Don't remember where he lived before that. And I might be saying his last name wrong. But he produced most of the world's firsts in the leopard gecko game. There's one of the Palos Verde California king snakes. So the one thing that I'm excited is this is a Newport gene. This is the gene that people think Tessera came from. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this male and breed it to a female Tessera corn snake and see what happens.
This is my entertainment every week.
All right, so how do we kick Chris off of this again?
How pissed off would at least somebody heard that.
No, what happened?
Wait, what happened? I'm watching
I
this.
said I'm
Gonna go chase bugs.
I said I'm gonna take this male California king snake and breed it to a female Tessera corn snake to prove that they
You're
are
the
not the
devil.
same gene. But we could finally put an end to it, Justin. We can do a little experiment.
No,
You
ignorant.
guys allow me on the show. You allow me, you can allow Chris.
I would not do that, but
yeah.
Look at this guy. Look at this thing. This is the dude. This is one of those West Alpine Paisano Pass Alterna. I mean, shut up, right? Like, the quality of the black on this animal is one of the things. Once I got it in the sunlight, the depth of that black, the saturation in the actual
Sharpie
black
marker.
Sharpie marker. It looks like graffiti. So yeah, that is what a beautiful animal. This is one of the little Chesapeake, Virginia Eastern king snakes.
Dude, I love those heads, man.
See, I like
Oh
the
my God.
Chesapeakes because the Chesapeakes, out of all like the localities of Easterns, like the Chesapeakes to me are like one of the top 3 most identifiable, where you can look at it and say like that's a Chesapeake.
Yeah, and so I had a trio or a pair many years ago that I got on a trade for gargoyle geckos, and I had given them to a friend. This is the male. Look how perfect. Like,
dude, those things are just like so evenly spaced and like they're the perfect chains, like perfect chain kings, man.
And like if you look at him on his side, it has the little link.
That's so awesome. I remember looking at him briefly at the show.
Yeah, Harry got a pair of these as well. His wife came in the next day and got a pair. Again, the price that we paid for these animals blows my mind. Spend a little bit of time visiting with these guys, and you really they'll give you deals kind of every time. Not that that's what we're there looking for. I think I would have bought these animals no matter what they cost.
Harry's wife showed up and cleaned house, dude.
Yeah, I was about to say, can we give a shout out to Harry's wife?
Yeah,
wife
Molly
for being a fucking G. Like,
dude, she came in and absolutely pulled out the checkbook and was like, "Let's go." Because they picked up the Leonis from my buddy Austin. I gave them a Leonis.
First of all, fuck you, Harry, for that whole group of oh my God,
dude,
those are good.
What?
I still got a pair. That was the Leonis they ate. The female that hadn't eaten yet, I got it to eat. And then I gave him a Leonis because I was like just excited he's going on this trip with us, right? I was like, hey man, you're going to do this. This is a huge mistake. Here's another one.
Here's another one.
And then she bought another one, another male. And then we went over to Tony D's table and she bought a pair of West Langtrees that were perfect West Langtrees.
Yeah, they were.
Nice.
And I don't know. Oh, and then she got a pair of the Eastern Kings. So she went home with twice as many snakes as all of us. And what a sweet girl. She knew what she was talking about. She knew what she liked. She was kind of in and out too. She was like, "I'm gonna buy this. All right."
She had a mission.
Yeah,
like SEAL Team 6, son. She was in and out.
So yeah, these super stoked on the Eastern Kings. I think the next picture is going to be there's one of the La Quinta, California Callies.
I like those ones. Those were nice,
dude. How badass is that? Right?
So cool.
That's killer, man.
That's just a neat animal, man.
It's weird how the bands just come. They stop at the sides and then boop, little polka dot.
Yeah.
So
and
cool.
so I picked 2 that were almost identical, and I wanted to because that is such a cool look. This is another one of the West Alpine Alterna. This one has like a little black nose on
nasty,
it.
dude.
Dude, it's dope, right?
Oh my God.
And a lot of times when you get adults from breeders, sometimes you get little lumps or little bumps or little kinks and stuff. And I took all these animals outside and did a real good inspection on them, ran them through some water. I think that's one thing people might want to think about doing. Put your snake in, let it sit in a room temperature. A little, not a deli, but I put them in a lockable tub one at a time.
Basin.
Yeah, let them hydrate up a little bit. And you can really see the quality of the animals afterwards. So there's that. I believe that's the male, and oh my God, right? Like
that neck speckling.
Yep, the flecking,
dude.
Crazy flecking.
I like that one.
Those are special animals. I'm gonna, they've already all eaten. All of them drinking water. They're all in quarantine, and I have no reason to think that these wouldn't do great for me. He did tell me these are probably the hardest alternative he's ever had to get eating. So I'm super excited about that. That rustles all my jimmies. And I think there's one more. Yeah, so that's the other one. So this is the darkest one. This one has the most diluted gray. It's almost it has some pink flecking in its scales. This is one of the females, and she has some really really interesting stuff going on in that kind of gray area. I would say that maybe inherently she's one of the less exciting, but really when you spend a little bit of time looking, you see that black head, the diffusion in the gray, and then she has a lot of her black. Kind of the orange in between the black fades through. And she may be in shed. Kind of looking at her, and because of her color, I think she may have either just started or be wrapping up the end of a shed cycle. So we'll see where that goes. What else we got?
Boom.
So these are the new Palos Verde, Palos Verde. Geez, it's hard to say. Newports, and again, just excited. Brown and gold are my favorite colors in Cali Kings. So this gentleman from Joey from SS Leopard Geckos, this is one of Danielle's friends. I had wanted to get a very nice tangerine animal to add into our no het bold stripe stuff that me and Lily are working with, and I don't think there is a more orange gecko. The amount of carrot tail on this animal and the amount of saturation on that orange on its head are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, the picture doesn't do it justice at all.
Yeah, this animal shouldn't exist in the wild, and it doesn't. But this is pure line breeding. There are no hets in this animal, so that's really cool. That's just a leopard gecko, right?
And dude, I love the fading, like a copperhead. You know, the
crazy,
faded
right?
Saddling.
Yeah. As she matures,
cool,
she will be a mostly orange animal. They do kind of lose that, which is kind of a bummer, but that's okay. Again, this gentleman gave me a sweet deal on this lizard. And Lily's in love with her. Her name is Popsicle. Lily already named her.
Nice.
So that's that. And then the next two are going to be from Matt Barnack. So these are Joker Project animals.
It's crazy.
When he came back to Leopard Geckos, he decided he wanted to take his clown project. He doesn't call them lines because it's a bunch of different lines combined to make it. But he has the Joker Project. And within the Joker Project, he has kind of made this. And the orange is weird. It's hard to take a picture of in person. That orange is actually metallic looking. And it's like a green and orange leopard gecko, and then the next picture will be the male, it's just that. And now, he's in shed in that picture. But what I don't know. I saw these animals and I was cherry picking, and again I spent a couple hours at his table, and then I had people walking up the table, and I was like, all right, I already picked that striped female. I was like, I want a male to go with this. These animals are going to make babies that I'm going to pair back into my line of stuff that I'm working with from Seth Hufstadar, which is all no het. All these animals are no hets. There's no AMLs. There's no eclipses in any of these animals. They're all just line bred. So it's really exciting to see what in a couple generations we may be able to make. And then I did have one more very special pickup, and it's one of the most heartfelt pickups that was made, and it wasn't something I was expecting. We were gifted a fat tail from a friend a couple weeks ago at the Reptile show in Corpus. It was kind of a trade, kind of a gift. And Lily wanted a boy to go with her. Well, I was looking around, and there weren't a lot of fat tails. In fact, I think there were only 3 tables that had fat tails. One of them being Kevin Barron's table. And I went up, and he had some fat tails. And I really liked them. There was an AML I liked them. There was this just normal, perfect chocolate African fat tail. And he was like, what is your female? And I was like, oh, she's het patternless, het Oreo. She's a whiteout. So whiteout is a codom mutation that's similar to Lily White. And he was like, dude, this male would be perfect. I was like, yeah, man, he would. He pulled it out of the case and handed it to me and said, it's yours. And that's just something so special in this hobby. Me and him have swapped some geckos and snakes back and forth a couple times. But so what an altruistic human. You know what I mean? What a great guy.
Kev's an awesome dude,
man.
And the other thing was like he was so cool to just hang out with, right? Like there was never, I was never like
jumped off of his butt and sent me some freaking gecko shed skin when I was having trouble getting some Baron Eye babies started, dude. I mean, like
that's awesome, dude.
In the mail the next day with some stickers too and a little freaking good luck note with it. Like, dude,
yeah,
come on.
Yeah.
I've never met that guy in person until Daytona, man. And when we met, it was like best friends. Like, dude, come on.
He's so nice. And he's so chill too. He's just
so chill.
Calm guy. So that animal is going to hold a special spot in my heart. Breeding fat tails is not something I thought I was planning on doing. They do kind of fall along the spectrum of leopard geckos with a few more difficulties. But regardless, so happy for that animal. Lily's trying to think of a good name for him. She's already gotten to investigate and hold and play with them. and he's eating great in quarantine. Which that's one of the things you got to worry about with fat tails. They don't always want to eat, and so we gave him some dubia, and he's crunching down on him. He's doing great. He ate his whole bowl.
Nice.
So that animal's gonna be with me for a long time, and it's gonna be a reminder of what a great friend Kevin has been and will be. So very, very special thing to have.
Love that guy.
God, he's great.
Dude, he brought his whole family, man. Had a fantastic booth. Like, dude, I was telling his wife that, you know, we do the little promo clips after each show to post on Instagram and Facebook and whatnot. And the promo clip I have of him and the passion in his voice is probably my favorite clip that we've ever taken of any of the podcasts that I've been a part of.
Yeah.
And like, I told her I was going to send her the clip, but like, dude, him, his family, his animals, awesome shit.
Great
awesome.
Guy. Yeah. Great human. It's a great human, regardless of the reptiles.
Great human.
Yeah.
Damn good man.
Yeah. Billy, you want me to do the one I accidentally leaked real quick?
Sure, we can do that one.
Yeah, because
we're talking about Kevin anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That my thoughts exactly. And I'll have to jump back.
Billy, did you get hognose?
Yes.
You piece of shit. Oh, I can't do it.
Wait for it. Here it comes. Boom.
So, this actually isn't mine. This is Sam's.
Yeah, okay.
Going around the show, she liked the hognose stuff, and we walked around the whole show. And going to Kevin's table, she liked this guy. This is a purple line, shadow line, albino that was bred to a tiger line as well. So I guess tigers, like, I'm still learning about the westerns.
Yeah, purple, shadow, and tiger are all select bred lineage traits.
Yeah, I guess the tiger is too. So
yeah,
he was saying all the right things to me. You know, selective breeding this, selective breeding that, being a carpet guy. So yeah, this one's just a really cool one. He's already like hissing and puffing and flattening out, and you know, doing the whole dramatic thing that they do. So just really happy with him. He's a cool little guy, and I can't, like, just to echo what you guys said. We went up to his table and, you know, just talking to Kevin and all that, and, you know, just let him know the situation. And, you know, I was ready to pay full price and all that. He ended up giving us a ridiculously good deal. And then he told us we were his first hognose sale that he's done, because this was his first year producing them.
That's so great.
So to, you know, also have that on top of it, like you guys said, you know, he had the whole family there, and Kevin's just really good people. It just it goes to show, like, you know, because he's part of our group and stuff too, that we just have such a good group, guys. We got such a good thing going here.
We do.
It's just cool to be a part of. But that was one of the few pickups I ended up getting that I wasn't really planning on. I wasn't planning on getting much this year, and that didn't work out.
Well, let me load. Here's the rest of them. I'm going to go backwards from the ones you sent, Billy. Okay.
Yeah. Well, however.
Right. So look at this thing. I'm so happy it shed, like, for the show. Like, we all got to see it in all of its fresh skin.
Oh yeah.
There's that thing.
All right. So my pictures aren't as good as Chris. I just took quick ones. I haven't had time to get like nice pictures of them. Everything's in quarantine. So this is an albino radiata. This is from David Powell. He's able to hook me up and all that. This guy already eaten. As soon as I opened up the deli to get him out and get him in his tub, he nailed me and did the whole display. And was
that's awesome.
Doing the whole thing. So
he did the whole side neck thing.
Oh yeah, he was.
That's awesome.
He was gaping. Great. He was biting. He was doing all the stuff. So
that's awesome.
Honestly, that's what you want to see in a radiated, because you know that they're good and they're.
That means they're radiating.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And for some reason, I'm a psycho and really like these guys. So,
dude, and that dorsal stripe, man. Ugh.
I mean, I'm very predictable.
Yes, yes, you are.
Yeah. So really happy to have this guy. So shout out to David. He definitely got me a good one on that
Yeah,
one.
man.
So,
Another great guy. I was so happy I met.
Yeah.
yeah, good dude. Good dude.
Damn
so
it.
this was a kind of a last minute. I went back and forth the whole show on this animal. So I ended up having some of Matt Most animal on my table, and he gave me 2 pairs of hognose or tricolor hognose to sell. I really liked his, so walking around the show, I kind of wanted to see what else was out there, and there was nothing patterned like this animal, where like the bands are offset, and once again, me being the carpet guy that I am, I can't help but think, oh, you can selectively breed this or something like that. I talked to Matt about it. It might be, he thinks that it might be an incubation thing. But all the other animals that were incubated with this animal had normal bands.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it'll be one. It's cool to, work with something new. Tricolors are, it's cool how small they are. Like that's that's the smallest deli you can get to kind of give you an idea of how small that animal
They're
is.
little.
Like,
They're real little.
yeah, that's a tiny little thing. But yeah, I'm just really excited to see where these guys go, and if it is something that you can selectively breed for. I mean, I think those are cooler projects than your recessives or incomplete dominance or anything like that, because you really put work into it and you see the fruits of your labor. So it'd be cool to see how that all pans out. So another one I'm really excited about. Yeah. So Jordan Parrott, he ended up being the last table I looked at on Friday. So I tried to walk around Friday because I try to do what I can before Saturday to see if there's anything I absolutely have to have. And I just looked down and I'm like, oh, this is the table Chris got the hets from, that I ended up with. And I saw the visuals, and he had Russian rats too, and he had hatchling diamond pythons. Jordan's, he's silently like had one of the better tables at the show.
Dude, those Russian rats.
Those Russian rats, man. You took the words out of my mouth, man.
Yeah, they're just killer.
Yeah, dude.
So having this striped leopard rat to add to my pair that I have, so now I have a trio. So I have the pair of hets and then a visual here. They're just a really cool species, something you don't see that often, and I'm just excited. This one's pretty chill. My other pair is starting to gain some confidence.
Nice.
So I'm curious to see how that's going to all pan out. But anytime you get a new species, and it's fun to learn about them, and it gives me a reason to go back through all the herp journals that I look at all the time and try to find as much as I can. And I don't usually keep things from that area of the world that these guys are from. Italy, Greece, all that, the Mediterranean area. So it's fun to, get to learn about something that you don't already have an idea about. So I'm really excited about this one.
Hell yeah.
And obviously, striped. So naturally.
I was looking at these. Yeah, Travis Whistler.
So Saturday, I didn't get a chance to look at Travis's setup Friday. So I walked because I saw on Morph Market they had some ladder rats. So I was like, oh, let me see if there's a female I can add to my pair, just to kind of build that project or whatever. As soon as I saw there was a stack of 3 of them, and it ended up being a trio. As soon as I saw what they are, because I've had the male forever. I've been trying to find a female. These guys are not easy to find. How they lasted past Friday, I don't know.
They almost did.
Yeah, well, I'm happy they didn't, because as soon as I saw them and I saw that it wasn't a stack of males, I literally grabbed them and took a step back from the table, and the guys were looking at me, and I'm like, no, I'm getting these. I don't I don't care what the story is.
I'm not running away with them.
I've been looking for the, and then I asked what the story was, because I know there's been a lot of European imports and stuff. That female with all the white, she's
insane.
She almost looks like Azanthic Subok.
Yeah, she's
got that Subok nape stripes.
Yeah, she's killer. But Yeah, I was expecting, just pretty much what's been coming in the country lately is, European animals just, getting bred and hatchlings come over and all that. Come to find out, 3 years ago, Travis and them went to the ham show in Germany, and they're like, yeah, we picked these guys up, and we just, thought it'd be cool to have a different project, and they just decided that they weren't for them, and I got them for, I guess I can call it Chris prices, because it was a freaking steal.
They were very affordable.
Yeah, I've been seeing hatchlings for almost that much, So
yeah, dude.
Very happy. They're definitely Colignathus. Getting them out was fun. They basically were doing the same thing the Radiata was doing.
But Billy, those don't get a lot bigger than that, right?
Not too much. I mean, I could get. I mean, they're 3 years old, so I could, I can pair them this year if I want to, which I probably will. But
why not?
Yeah, who knows? That'll end up being overrun because those guys are on record of, I think, up to 7 clutches.
Yeah, once they start breeding, once a female is fertilized, she keeps going. They're exceptionally fecunded.
Yeah, so it's almost like you can. Like, you have to make sure that you don't overdo it. So I think it's going to be, once they go, I'll probably not pair them again. But yeah, just super excited. That honestly, that made my whole weekend, because I've been looking for those guys for such a long time. And the fact that I'm kind of diving deeper into the old world rat stuff, and, I'm starting to be able to find some of the stuff that I'm interested in, maybe not so much that the masses are. It makes the hobby a lot more fun when you have stuff that, you enjoy, and, that you're jazzed about. And then, if someone likes what you have, then you're the person they go to, but I've never wanted to be a market chaser guy.
I had those Alterna in my hands, just bought them. And I walked over and I had the top snake in my hand because the male was on top. And I went and I picked it up and I was like, male. And I looked under and it was female. And I was like, oh, this is a pair. And I kind of looked and I was like, that's a trio. Because I picked up the next one and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. Chris, you said locality king snakes. You said
that
locality
was
king
exactly
snakes.
what I did with the trinkets. As soon as I saw it was a trio, because I was, you expect it all just to be males.
Yeah.
So the top
maybe
one was
a pair,
male.
2 males and a female. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I saw it was what it was, I was like, oh my gosh. And then I'll be quick with the other stuff. That's that awesome peach throat.
I found that video real quick of us looking at it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there it had just turned back and looked at us, and I think Chris is like, I want to touch it, and Skylar's like, you did with your emotions or something.
Yeah. He's like, can we pick it up and hold it? I was like,
I was like blown away. I was absolutely blown away by that animal. Yeah. I was just like, fuck, that's so cool.
Billy, did you only send me one horned frog pic?
Yeah, just
okay. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, just to be quick, Snakes at Sunset, Mike Barrera, of course, he brings in a bunch of stuff. Years ago, so I know you guys kind of laugh at me for my fat frog addiction, but I originally, I really like the Suriname horned frogs. So Pac-Mans are Argentine horned frogs. Surinams are a little different. They breed a Suriname to an Argentine. That's where you get your fantasy frogs. But I saw the Surinams and I saw the greens. When I had a Suriname years ago, I only had a brown. I couldn't find greens, or if I did, they were stupid expensive. Well, now they figured out how to breed them because they're primarily frog eaters in the wild. So getting imports and trying to establish them can be troublesome, of course. So I saw those at his table. I couldn't pick out. He had 4 greens. I couldn't pick out of 2, and then there was a little brown that was really cool. And I was like, you know what, the price is right. And they worked with me on the price, and come to find out they were produced in Taiwan. Michael gets a lot of stuff out of Asia. I was like, all right, cool. Let's see what happens. And they're already eating crickets on their own and all that stuff. So Like I can just throw stuff in there and not worry about it. Where in the past, some of the Pac-Mans I have to hand feed or they just won't eat because they're just lazy. So happy about those. And then to round it out, I got a snake that I traded to Brats years ago that I produced, Round Circle. I ended up getting her back from him.
Oh.
And
That's
dude,
right. I forgot about that.
Holy crap, man.
She's stupid, man. She's so nice.
Dude, so when I put her in the tub, because I didn't really mess with her too much, I just kind of, put her in the tub and
because she's literal, because she's actual Satan in a snake, but
yeah, she's spirited, but dude, she has that river when she's fired up going into her. Like when I took her out of the bag, I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I'm looking for that project. So it's really cool to be able to get one of my animals back and get more of that line going. And it was a very successful Daytona.
that hurt me. It hurt me a little bit to get rid of that pair, but Cole had to happen. I'm glad she went to you.
Don't let him lie to you. He gives all of his good snakes away to other people.
See, what you do is you have nice stuff and then you give it to your friends. That way, when they produce more, you just be like, hey, maybe I got a baby this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just hit up Montrose, Jake. Don't worry about it.
He's got the best.
That's what
best
Jake
yellow
does.
rats out there.
Now he's got some cool Popplewins too, man.
True.
Yeah. He's got the one.
Not
that ended up being female that I fully regret.
That I paired like 2 years in a row, and
I just remember you told me you're like, it threw plugs and it's a boy, and you gave me that thing for next to freaking nothing. And probe female.
I think Billy really.
Because I spent 2 years.
Situation.
I spent 2 years. I spent 2 years putting it to a girl and nothing happened. And Chris was like, "Well, have you sexed it? Because they might be the same sex." I'm like, I didn't think about that. Maybe. And then female. So
well, he'll do good things with her. Excited to see what he does.
That thing wasn't going to leave if it wasn't to somebody like Chris, because I know Chris is going to do really well with them.
So that's all I got. So,
awesome, man.
Phil, fill you up.
I forgot one picture, so I just resent it. Let me share this. I'm actually going to kind of flip-flop back and forth, but so obviously I'm on a sub-off kick, and Dave Powell was at our table, and he had some amazing animals, and this is one of his albino River Road Het Blondes.
Oh yeah.
And
those are nice.
And this is a girl, and dude, just a killer looking animal. Absolutely killer animal. And this is actually my first ever personally owned albino snake.
Nice.
I'm just not a big morph guy, and I kind of feel like maybe that's another reason why I gravitated towards a lot of the sub-box, because it's locality based phenotypes, but dude, this thing, like, the sky's the limit when this thing reaches maturity. So like, I'm super stoked about that. And I got more pictures of her, but and that's David Brahms, the Reptile perch. That's one of his newest designs, and it just slides together with these tiny little screws. And dude, like, we always talk about rat snakes being terrestrial, and the Eastern complex climbs and whatever, but like, dude, I've put these perches with all the Transpecos, and they live in them as if they're arboreal, man.
Yeah.
They just, it's awesome to watch. So shout out to Dave Brahms for that. I also have that. Oh man, I wanted to pause it. Hold on. So this is one of the Casey's Angolans under the lighting. Look at that thing.
Silky smooth, dude. Those things are soft as silk. It's so weird.
Yeah. So, but and this is one of Smitty's corns that I had taken a picture of. Smitty, want to chime in on that real quick while it's in the queue?
Oh yeah, that's the Ultra Mel I got from Tony D.
Nice. I love the little 3 patch on the saddle.
Looks like a lava lamp, dude.
Yeah, dude, lava lamp. It's awesome.
We call that Aztec patterning.
Aztec. I love it.
And that's a
You guys are
selectively bred trait.
So
Very
cool. What's
cool.
your name?
Yeah, right. So this is a
Very nice hand model.
Very nice hand model. Yes, yes. My beautiful fiance showing off the goods. This is an adult holdback female silver het blonde subok that I got from Rob Nemo, and actually, our friend Mike Gillen up in Canada, he keeps in contact with Nemo pretty much as he can, and he had mentioned that he had a couple holdbacks he was going to get rid of. So Rob produced this animal with another female and like 3 or 4 males, and he wound up picking a perfect trio, and then wound up holding them back. So I guess it's 3 or 4 years old at this point. And his story to me was, he's like, look, man, I don't need like 2.3. So he's like, I'll sell you a female. We'll do it. So I made arrangements before Daytona, and I got her on Friday morning, man. And I'm so happy with her. Like, she's going to be so awesome because I have another
snake, man.
I have another silver. Thank you. I have another silver male that I'm raising up. So next year he'll be ready. She's already ready. So, and by the time the year after that, hopefully that albino will be caught up to speed, and we'll be pumping out the Trans Pecos. I'm actually going to go backwards really quick to show you a dorsal pic from before the show. Hold on. Here's Billy's stuff.
You'll have gunmetal and bubblegum flavored Trans Pecos, dude.
Legit.
They combine the snows. For some reason, the snows are very hard to make. But the snows are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That thing looks insane.
Yeah,
and to
so
badass.
nice.
Then that's exactly what I was looking for. Just gray on black, and I'm actually really excited to see what the hets are going to look like too.
Yeah,
because especially since I don't know what that's my silver male. I mean, he is like damn near exanthic, like just black and gray and white, and I'm just eager to see what happens, man. It's gonna be a fun road. So that I'm super stoked for. Here, let me stop this and jump out real quick so I can fix this timeline, and then we'll go to the next one. Here's Billy's stuff. Okay. All right. So here, this one was completely unexpected. Share screen, Facebook, go. So, Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about this one?
Oh, so I produced some milk snake phase Leonis this year. I was really happy with the clutches. They almost have that Kosala Sinaloan redhead.
Yeah, dude.
And they're all Vivid line. Vivid times Highland, but the Highland stuff came from Vivid line. They actually are naturally will produce a couple aberrants. And so Smitty and Phil had been talking about them a lot, and Harry as well. We're all kind of excited about the Leonis, and I really think that my favorite thing to do in this hobby is put the animals I love in other people's hands. So I brought Smitty one, I brought Phil one, and I brought Harry one.
Dude, I can't thank you enough, man. The thing is killer.
And I hope this puts you down a deep, dark hole.
It does.
Leonis.
It has. It's disgusting.
Because you can pair this female to anything you want.
Yeah.
And who knows what you're going to get.
Yeah, man.
It's not a predetermined thing. If you pair this to a pin band, you will get milk snake phase, and you'll get pin bands, and you'll get everything in between. In 100 clutches, you'll never have 2 babies that look the same.
Yeah, man. Super stoked. And what's crazy is when I got her home and set her up, she was sitting in the empty water bowl that you gave me, just like coiled up, like just comfy. So I took her out, I held her in my hand, I set her tub up like how I do when I get all my new animals, and I put her in there, and she just kind of sat there and looked at me like, that's it? We're done?
They're so chill.
And dude, like I've been watching her every time I'm home. I like every couple hours, I go and check in honestly on her and all the new stuff. But
yeah,
dude, just unlike any other labor pelvis I've ever kept. So
they are so
exciting.
Every single one of them that I have, baby to adult, is just a calm, chill snake.
Yeah, man.
Them and gray bands are just so very placid.
Yeah. So this one here. So this is an Everglades rat snake produced by our very own Mike Kosicki.
Nice.
Yeah. So now I have a pair of Kosicki line Everglades rats.
That's awesome.
And this is, if you are in any of our group chats, I have a very bad photo floating around of me leaning over his wife's bed, looking at the specimen with him taking a picture from behind. It was not what you think, people. We were simply doing, shady underground snake deals.
Mike, hold on. Mike and his pictures are hilarious, dude. He just randomly pulls out the camera and starts taking pictures. And
You won't even
all
know.
candid
Also, he's
shots,
just getting dirt on you.
Dude, he's our paparazzi, man. I love it.
Keller could be indicted on multiple counts just because of Mike Kosicki's camera.
That's true. It's true. It's good. But dude, like Kosicki's, his parents, man, are fantastic. He's kind enough to give me photos of the parents, and man, like, I don't know if you guys can see it on here, but like the red and orange in the eyes, like these,
a lot of color in that animal at that size.
Yeah. And it's funny, you guys see how it's got like a yellow nose. So the female that he also gave me last year, the face is almost going like a Taipan white face.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm so excited to see what these animals turn into. Like, dude, can't thank Mike enough, man. Awesome critter.
I produce Everglades every year, and that is a very high color animal.
Yeah, man. Super stoked. So this one is actually not mine. This is Anna Maria's. This is a Pueblan mill snake produced by our very own Vic Lorano, courtesy of Billy Hunt.
Nice.
So, yeah, man, she had her eye on a milk, and Billy was awesome and hooked her up with one. And dude, we put him in that little rock water dish thing, and he like sat in that water for, I don't know, 3 hours just chilling. And she loves it. She put him on a nightstand, and she's happy as can be, man. So I'm happy.
She was holding that thing all weekend.
Pueblans are great.
She was. Yeah, dude, it's the de-stressor, man. Just chilling with your milk snake. Exactly. Lamprey for life.
I think Pueblans, as far as all milk snakes go, are probably the most calm.
Oh yeah,
I love lamp.
I love lamp. I love lamps.
Well, she'll never get a Honduran. We know that.
Oh, that's for sure, dude. So Billy also has some really, really nice tangerine Hondurans, also from our friend Vic, and with really good broken pattern flecking on the bands, and like for baby tangerines, just screaming tangerine color. And those snakes bit the shit out of her. And like, I handed her one because, like, I mean, I've kept Hondurans as long as I've been keeping snakes, and I'm like, you've held mine before? She's like, no, I haven't. I was like, yeah. And Billy's like, those are a little spicy, and it just latches onto her pinky, and it's just knurling away at her pinky, and we're laughing, and she's like, I don't want this. Why do you want this?
Hondurans do calm down, but Pueblans are pretty much chill the whole time.
Yeah, so it was good. She's got her one or 5 bites for the show. So
yeah, she took it. She didn't.
She did.
Like, she stayed in the batter's box with it. So
hold on a second. It jumped out. Hold on.
Showing all our secrets.
I know, right? All right. Now this snake here was completely left field. So this is a purebred. I don't know if you want to say mean's eye or going eye, but purebred Apalachicola king snake. And so Mike Kosicki and I were talking, and I've got a male from last year from Firehorse that is just an amazing animal. And I had a female as well, and she passed. So my goal was to kind of keep my eyes peeled for an Apalachicola this year. And I was talking to Kosicki, and Kosicki's like, oh, I have a female that'll probably be ready. And like, all I'm thinking of is, we got to do some breeder swapping and stuff, and maybe I'll just send him the male. And I was like, well, Kayla Bell has some gorgeous king snakes. So I was like, and their price was fantastic. So I said, you know what, let me get a girl. And then if anything, Mike and I can still do our horse trading or our breeder loan, whatever. And then by the time she's ready, we'll have more males, So I figured I couldn't pass this one up, and just the black blotches on it and the fire engine red on the side. It's everything you want out of a Goinai, man. So I scored her
between the scales too.
Oh yeah,
that's a badass snake.
That's a nice,
a nice adult. Yeah.
Yeah. And dude, just like Chris's Leonis that he gave me, like this thing is just relaxed and just like curious and just looking around. Now. For now. Yeah.
For now.
Methroponthus. Yeah.
Yeah, fun with that.
That this particular snake, when you originally showed me this picture, the first thing that popped in my mind was that it's going to hold a lot of that melanin as an adult. A lot of times they wash out, but this looks like it's got enough saturation that it's going to hold on to some of that pattern, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and I feel like it's super interesting too, because the male that I got from Firehorse is very similar in appearance but reversed. So it has a higher area of red and orange, and it's been a year and it hasn't even started to change yet. So I'm eager to see what they turn into, man. It's gonna be a fun project. And that's a speech.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I had
I was giving drunk speeches.
Oh yeah.
I appreciated my birthday speech.
The birthday speech was capital, man. Oh, there's the white sides. Hold on, let's look at those white sides.
We got to stop doing that one, man.
Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, and there's the normals. Oh yeah.
Those aren't normals. Those are high yellows.
Oh, are they high yellows? Oh, okay. I thought they were just good looking.
I mean, that's what we would, little nerds. Oh, look at those, Billy.
Oh my gosh, that bottom one, the bottom head.
Do you still have those, Billy?
No, those were
Dave's, right?
So yeah, he
I didn't know if
took those. Thankfully, he took all of those.
Oh.
Yeah, the bottom head, because like you guys know, I'm into the calico stuff and.
They are het axanthic and het patternless and het Trumbauer.
Yes, they're het everything.
Yeah.
And he said he had females at the house. And,
yeah. I saw some of his Trumbauer females. It's good snake.
Yeah, I've been to his place. He's got some killer stuff.
He's got some crazy stuff. He's got some crazy stuff. And the stuff that he got from me, I was so surprised that. Anyways, he got some reverse stripe male Morum and male Janai from me.
You know what he did have? He had a Ridley eye that was like as big as some of my carpets.
Really?
Oh, shit. Ridley eye can get huge.
Yeah, like the head on that thing, I was like, "Holy crap, man! Are you feeding it cats? Like, what is happening here?" He's like, "I don't know, man. It just likes to eat." Of course it does. Holy crap!
Awesome. That's awesome. So Jake, did you send any pictures to the group so I can throw them up?
I did not. I haven't really had time to go through because I ended up coming home with way too much shit.
All right. You want to give us
I haven't
a verbal articulation,
but yeah, I'm gonna kind of rattle everything off because I'll be honest, I really need to go. I have to be up very early, and I got a 20-minute ride back to the house. So I'm gonna rattle everything off and dip off.
As Chris Pinchot would say, paint us a picture.
Yes. To paint you a picture, we'll start with what Chris Montross brought me. We did a little wheeling and dealing. He got some carpets. I got some colubrids. He brought me 3.1 Minnesota Keys rats, which are very, very cool. Everybody knows I love the Deckert's rats. And these are another Keys locality. So I'm super excited to have those. Very, very cool. Very, very unique. If anybody wants pictures, just hit me up. They're right now they're this almost a pale orange in color, and they're still yearlings. So they're awesome. Very, very excited to have those. And along the same lines, he also brought me a pair of Deckert's rats that are a bit bigger than mine. Potential to breed this year, probably not. But those are just absolute mint snakes.
Did he have any actual island locale or no?
They're not. I don't believe they're an actual island. The Deckerts are just the Southern Key Largos.
No, but I was gonna say, was it on Largo proper or like a barrier island or what? Because I know there's some of them. I know I have friends that have caught them, obviously not removed them, but seen them in the wild that have bled up north, in north and south of Largo. So I always ask if anybody got the old school data on it.
I would have to ask him and see if he can tell me any of that, but I'm not too sure. But they are just absolutely fantastic animals. I absolutely love them. And then he gave me a loner snake that will be going back to him after a breeding season or two. It's a adult male Seminole County, one of his original wild caught males that I'm going to pair to my female, and it is absolutely going to make people stop making fun of me for liking yellow rats.
Nobody makes fun of that.
Everybody.
I
makes
like mine, man. They're cool.
Yeah, yellow rats are great, man.
Dude, we all own them.
They're awesome. Yeah, I love them to death. So he brought me that. It's gonna be a very, very cool project. I'm really, really excited for those. And then, so I think that's everything Chris brought me. Minnesota's Deckerts and the Loner Seminole.
Sweet.
And then at the show, and Pain Chab brought me snakes I didn't actually want but accepted. He brought me Pos Head A-Male Gulf Hammock rat snakes, which I love the Gulf hammocks. This wasn't a project I was really intending on, but I am trying to get some of the morph localities as far as obsolete rats
We're
go.
going to get either a visual male or a het male from Chris.
We're getting a visual because we're going to get answers right away.
Yeah.
So we're going to get a visual A-male whenever possible. So that's a really cool project. Those are already big.
Yeah, they're great snakes.
They ate like crazy today.
They will bite your face. It's super
fun. They actually bit each other, which was awesome. So he brought me those 2 females, Pos Het A-Male Gulf hammocks. Those are great snakes, super cool. And then at the show, I bought a pair of South Florida locality yellows. So those are Glades County yellow rats, and the guy, I wasn't gonna get them, but the guy answered all the right questions. He gave me the road that they came from, the county they came from. So I ended up buying a pair because he showed me the adult male, and it was mind-blowing. So me and my very, very good friend Preston Converse sat there and picked through every single baby he had to pick the
cherry
right
pick 'em,
ones.
baby.
Yeah, so I sat there for a good 30 minutes trying to pick out the ones I wanted. I picked out the most pale of them because when you get in the Glades County, you get some Everglades looks. You know, I actually have Glades County Everglades. That's my A-male project, and I have Pos Head A-males as far as those go. Super, super red, and I wanted yellows. I did not want Everglades looking yellows. I wanted true yellows from the Glades. So I sat there. Some of them had some orange, and I picked out the most yellow pale ones me and Preston could find. Both of those ate for me today as well. So I'm very, very excited about those. Been wanting some South Florida yellows for a while, so that is another check marked off. And then Tony D at Tony D's table. So I actually bought a trio of lemon rats from him a couple months ago, and he delivered them. So I got a visual lemon male along with 2 100% het females. So I have a trio of those, and those are the pure locality as well. Again, I'm trying to get locality morphs. I'm not a big morph guy like you, Phil, but I like localities a lot. So I was like, I kind of want to mess around with some locality morphs. So these are the pure Kentucky locality lemons. Super excited about those.
I like
then,
those
of course,
a lot, man.
Yeah, dude, they're
really
great.
Nice. Yeah.
They're really, really nice animals.
Jefferson County, I think. Gray rats.
Jefferson. I couldn't remember the county. It was Jefferson. So
badass.
Those are great. Yeah, they're
snakes.
Badass. The females look completely different. One is much more red, a lot more red coming through. The other one's more pale, yellow. It's really neat. Then the male, obviously being the visual, it's just a absolute knockout. So that's really cool. Then of course I was browsing his table, and he had some Jani, some Depi Jani, however you pronounce it, and which is the North Mexican pine snake. And he had 2.1, and I really only needed a female because I already have 2.1 at the house. He wouldn't sell just the female, so I left it for a couple hours, and then I went back and bought a pair. It works out. I condoned it because they're from a different line because all mine come from Chris. These are a different line, different blood. So I figured having a male from the same bloodline, I can cross around, do some outcrossing. So really excited about those. Never bad to have a spare male around either.
Saving the best for last, man.
Yes, and then so yeah, I got those. The Jani, which I think for a while. Hopefully, probably not, but and then at the very end of the show, I sat on it and slept on it and thought about it a lot. Very end of the show, I ended up pulling the trigger on a Arctic super anaconda head albino hognose to plug into my Arctic albino anaconda poshet sable project.
All right, Mr. Morph guy.
So
yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I mean it's just for hogs.
I'm not a
It's just
morph
for
guy. Bubblegum, lemon drop.
Yeah,
turtle
that
soup.
is.
Dude,
I'm
just,
not.
just get the Punnett square tattooed on your arm, and you'll be good to go.
Perfect.
Why is this the make fun of Jake ep? Never mind. That's
No.
every
Billy,
day.
hey, did you know
I
that Arctic
forget.
and super Arctic condas and super condas they get stripes?
Yeah,
I
they
know.
do.
I know.
They do.
I was already looking at females for this one. I know.
So yeah, I got that. And Billy, that anaconda I got actually has a partial stripe on it. It's got like a little green stripe going down its whole back, and then it has an actual like black partial stripe.
Something with Arctic and
It's
anaconda
really
makes
wicked.
stripes.
Yeah.
Are you,
So
are you trying to sell it to me?
no, I'm not
It's
trying to sell it
working.
to you. No.
It's working if you are.
No, absolutely not. Because I when I pair that to the male I've got, I mean, it's just gonna be freaking stupid, man. So that's super exciting. I got that girl from Exotic Fire Hogs, and I mean, just I'm repping the shirt now. You know, he gave me a shirt, and got the snake from him. He gave me a insane deal on her, and basically something I couldn't say no to. So that's kind of that should finish out my hog project. That makes 2 normals. Yeah,
I was gonna say his animals are primo because he's been doing it since before it was trendy.
Yeah, he's an OG hog guy.
Yeah,
OG hog,
top notch animals. He had an incredible table. So as far as hogs, that puts me at a pair of normals. I have the albino anaconda posset sable, the Arctic albino anaconda posset sable, and now the superconda Arctic head albino. So,
awesome,
nice.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
So that is my group. Again, sorry I don't have pictures of everything. I came home with like 14 snakes, and yeah. So
real quick, you guys.
That was everything.
Was it? You guys feel like there was more colubrids?
Way more colubrids this year. There was also a lot less colubrids than what I saw last year as far as diversity, but there was way more colubrids this year.
Yeah,
there wasn't as much diversity. I noticed that there wasn't as much diversity, but there was more of them.
Yeah, there was. I saw one guy. I don't even know who it was.
So with that, fellas, I do have. I have.
You're lagging out a little bit.
We're lagging real bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we do wrap it up.
Yeah, I do have to go, fellas. Smitty can run off his when I'm out of here. But I love you all. Thank you for another amazing year.
Yeah,
this
man.
was
Love you too, bro.
fantastic. This was a fantastic show, and obviously, I think the best part of it was me and Skylar got to share a bed all weekend. So that was
thanks for letting everyone know.
highlight.
Lucky.
What a weird thing to say.
No,
I know.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, I'm all in at this point, So this is what you get for making fun of these guys.
We did laugh like little girls for like the last 2 hours of the night.
The full Nelson meant something.
Yo, yeah, the full Nelson. I forgot about that.
That was so confusing.
I forgot about that. That was great. That was great,
bro. Jake was so drunk that he told Anna Maria that he was going to throw up on her because he liked her, and that because she was new and needed the initiation of some kind.
Yeah, that was weird.
Jake was feeling good.
Jake shit.
Yeah. On that note, I'm gonna go. I'll see y'all later. No. No. Anna Maria's great though, but I didn't have to actually throw up on her.
Thank God.
Unless you're into that.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank y'all. Have an
right,
amazing
drive safe,
evening.
Jake.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Drive safe, dude.
All right, Smitty, you're up, Bubba.
Do you have the
corns.
energy?
He got corns. He did.
All right, great haul.
Yeah. So I got a reverse Ogatee, Posset Sunrise, and Caramel from Whistler's Table, along with an Ultra Anery test.
Oh, that Ultra
Courtesy
Henry
of
test
Skylar.
bad ass.
Dude, I
That is a
freaking love that snake.
badass fucking snake. Yeah.
Every
that thing
time I
was
walked by that table, it
impressive.
was still sitting there, and finally, I couldn't stop looking at it.
I'm gonna make some ultras next year. I've never messed with ultras. I've always made ultra mels. Next year, I'm gonna do some ultras.
Then I got a male Castani het email from Alan at Rock Creek, who also gave me a female zombie Motley het cinder that was produced by JT.
That's cool.
I got the Ultramel from Tony D. I got a Castani Posset Anery from Sean Bradley. One of those Leonis that you saw earlier that Phil got, I also received one. And then there was this older couple with a bunch of Leonis on their table too, and I really enjoyed talking to them. His name, I think, was Dennis Thomas.
They're so sweet.
And they're the nicest people, and so I ended up buying a female from them before I left, because there was two females in particular I was looking at, and then there was one that was still there every time I walked by their table, so I finally just bit the bullet and grabbed one. So I've got two female Leonis now.
Nice.
And
the other one you got that was not milk snake phase.
It's not. Well, I don't know what you
Kind
would
of a-
necessarily
kind of a
call it,
mix.
because it does kind of look milk snake-ish, but I don't know that I'd call it a milk snake phase.
That's a tough one, because like a milk snake phase is
Like if
kind
someone
of like,
saw it, they would think it was a milk snake.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like there's like the deep milk snake phase, like the ones I produced this year, and then there's kind of the interim ones, which some people call Leonis phase, because that's more what they look like in the wild. Of course, there's a huge variation. In the wild.
Phase.
Yeah, and then you have the more Therai, which are going to be the more like pin band kind of. So
yeah,
there's a world where people actually split Leonis and Therai into two different species, because it's the eastern and the western range.
Right.
But that's a whole podcast worth of a conversation.
Yeah. We'll do that in the same one as Eastern rat snakes.
Oh, and then my dad texted me midway through the show and was like, "If there's any relatively inexpensive Alterna, let me know." I just want one, were his words. So Tony D had some just generic Alterna. So I grabbed one of those, and it actually ate first thing. Like everything ate right off the rip, except that zombie Motley, but it's going to do a shed cycle. So
nice.
We'll keep trying there. But yeah, just corns. The Castani from Allen at Rock Creek is a mahogany, which is basically the U.S. version of Castani. So I think that'll be good. I don't have a ton of males aside from like my adults. I think I have 3 male Castanis in the entire group that I have. So now I have 4.
Good.
So
nice.
Tie that stuff in down the road.
Castani, king of the South.
You know it, son.
He's getting there.
KK.
I freaking love that morph, dude. I don't care what people
morph.
say.
It's such a good morph.
It's so good. And
So
Sean
good.
Bradley's stuff. Everything was price-wise on corns at the show. Everything was cheap.
The price you can pay for top-notch corns at Daytona is insane. It's insane.
Yeah, definitely a corn
Whistler
show.
was practically giving them away. Bradley was making good deals. You know, everything was real good.
Ooh, about me, Reptiles had Lady Islands, year-olds.
Yeah.
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 I had one person ask me about those when I was at his table.
That's
I got excited. They were like, where's Ladies Island? I was in South Carolina. They're like, oh, I thought it was Florida. Okay, bye. I was like, all right.
I had someone ask me, like, where's Ladies Island? I was like, it's off the coast of South Carolina. It's the opposite. It's across the canal from Okeechobee. And they're like, oh, really? I was like, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Off they go.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Neat.
Sorry, Billy.
All right, guys. I'm probably similar to Jake. I got to get going. I got to get.
Yeah, we'll
4:30,
close.
so
We'll close this one out. Sorry, guys.
this could be a whole nother episode talking about
Yeah, I
the
know,
people
right?
that we met.
Yeah.
Huge. I'm going to give a couple shout outs.
Do it.
Kevin Barron, thank you so
Yes.
much.
Yes.
Yeah.
David Powell, thank you for was a little nervous meeting you because I didn't know who you were, but now that I do, I'm so glad to have. Jerry Hartley, amazing guy. I got to meet Glenn Brooks from Glenn Reptiles, Matt Barnick from Sassapick Reptiles, Brent and his wife. Oh my God, Brent from Blue Ridge Reptiles. What just 2 nights of amazing conversations. Also, Clay Emerton, got to spend a lot of time with him and drink some beers. What a cool guy, just a lot of neat personalities. There were other people I met, but some of these people just sat and had conversations with me for hours. It was just amazing.
Clay literally lives 5 minutes from me.
He's a cool dude, man.
That's
Yeah,
if I
really
hit
cool
every
dude.
light going to
Yeah.
his house. Yeah. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
It was a great trip, man. It was great.
Yeah. It was
Can't
great
wait to do it
seeing.
next year.
It was great seeing all you guys and everyone in the group chat and like all of our friends. It was just it's what we wait for all year.
Fun
Absolutely.
times.
It's awesome.
Love
Smitty,
you
want
guys.
to close? Love you too, bro. Smitty, you want to close us out?
This episode is brought to you by BlackBoxCages.com. Check them out. Facebook, Instagram. Use the code THN at checkout. Save yourself a little bit of money. Get yourself something nice, whether it's a rack, whether it's a cage. Blackbox can supply your needs. And then Full Visa Apparel. Also check that out. FullVisaApparel.com. Use the code THN at checkout. I see Phil found the handful of shirts that I hid in the boxes there. Billy, did you find yours too?
I did.
You're
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
welcome.
I
You're
guess
welcome.
Smitty handed one to Anna Maria, and like I just saw like a shirt, and I used it to like cover the box of snakes for the drive home. And she's like, "What are you doing with my shirt?" I was like, "Oh, I was just covering that." She's like, "That's my THN shirt."
Good for her.
Yeah.
I had some left over, and I was like, you know what? You know who needs these? Billy and Phil. So I stashed them. I stashed them at the bottom of your boxes.
I only have my one from when you first started.
Yeah.
So
Well.
yeah, it's good to get an updated one.
Yeah, man.
I was trying to get them gone, but all I had left was like the bigger sizes. So
It works out.
So yeah, FullVisaApparel.com. Use code THN at checkout. Save yourself 15% just for THN listeners and watchers. Puget Sound Pythons, fine folks up at the Pacific Northwest. Also follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Puget Sound Pythons. Silent Hill Reptiles, SilentHillReptiles.com. You need some awesome killer corns. JT's got them. Go take a look. Steve Snaketuary and his Venom Hot Sauce. Give that a look. Help Steve out. It's all good. You'll enjoy it. And Cold-Blooded Caffeine. News
Hell
to
yeah.
come soon on that front.
Yeah.
Another great guy I got to meet too. Awesome dude.
Yeah, man. Trey. Awesome
cool.
guy. It was a good show, boys.
All right, guys.
Yeah, we'll be
love you.
back Monday for Snakes and Stogies.
Rock and
For
roll.
our usual programming.
Scheduled programming.
That's right. Thank you all. It's a good
Tip your
weekend.
waitress.
I enjoyed it. Glad we got to meet a bunch of people, hang out with a bunch of people that we only get to see once a year.
Yeah.
It's a good time. So
That's awesome.
if
We
you
all made
haven't
it
been
back
out there
safe.
yet, that's right. If you haven't been out
That's the
there,
show.
that's the show.
It's the one now.
Come on
Yeah.
out.
Dude, Dylan and Jillian from Reno.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I really enjoyed hanging out with him. I mean, I enjoyed hanging out with everybody, but
Everybody. Yeah.
it's cool when people come all the way out, from the other side of the country and kick it with us.
It was a
17
big
and a half
show.
hours straight, baby. Let's go.
It was a big show this year.
It's
That's the
huge.
biggest I've seen it since the glory days, if you will.
Yeah.
1,037 tables.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they're counting like actual like physical tables.
Oh, individual tables.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
no, I'm
still,
saying
that's a lot of
still
tables.
Insane.
Yeah.
And back in the day, it was always over 600 tables. So they're not messing around.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's that Segway
You see
money.
Wayne bust out that Segway, boy. You know it.
Got them moves on him. Moved different, built different. All right, guys.
Got that
I love
dog
y'all.
in it, boy.
Got that dog.
Got that dog in you.
See y'all
All
later.
right. Love you guys.
Later,
All right, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Try the feel.
Bye.
Bye.